Who's, It has been a long time. Since this... Oh, you fuck. I forgot to put it on silent. Oh, shit. Vibrate will have to do. Because if I go to mute it, it'll fucking go off. Okay. Let's try this again. First things first, orientation. Orientation. I must make sure that the camera is... I must make sure... Oh, I am... Echo! Camera. Echo. Goo, on a Saturday, did I teleport to another dimension? No, Stubborn-sama. You did not. You clearly did not heed the messages in the telegram chatu. Okay. Right. Can you see the monkey, eh? Yes. I must adjust camera. Right. We go like this. Okay. Myro the monkey makes his triumphant return to painting. After many months in purgatory. I must find the... There we go. Right. One moment. We're doing it live. One moment. Right. Here we go. Myro's Opus Mirionus Servi. Whatever the fuck that means. Take it away, Myro. Fuck. I love the way there's no guitar. Just imagine an orchestra in the background. It's so beautiful. That's what she said. We need more monkeys. That was like ridiculously epic. Oh, it's hilarious. Masterful work, brother Prince-sama. Masterful work. You have indeed done Myro proud. Right. I suppose I could just leave him there. Hold on. Let's see how the orientation works. Because if he's just going to be in the bottom, but it shouldn't be a thing. Let's see. Yeah, I think he's just out of view now, which works. It's like the good old days back when I had little bitch bear. Actually, start over. That's the wrong file. Oh. There was like a second or two there when it went all like the sound like went low for a sec or something. Okay, hold on a minute. I need to. It's not level. It's not level anymore. So I need to kind of like tilt it up this way a bit. That one didn't even have the 80s 8-bit ballad. There's like fucking 4 ballads in the thing. Not that I know what a ballad is. Fucking oh Jesus. Careful, Myro, you might hurt yourself. I'll finish with it. When I'm at the end of the stream, I'll finish with the other one, and I'll tilt the camera back down to him. I might make it a fucking a habit of doing that now, or like I just. It took me a few minutes to get the camera angle right, but it wasn't that difficult. The arm thing that I have that holds the phone is very like it's got like a hinge and two straight sections, and then it's got this like malleable fucking movable wire section, and it's really rigid. It's really stiff and hard. Fucking to get a firm grip on it, and but like that's why it doesn't move, and it doesn't wobble. Because I used to have one that like I got from my sister ages ago, and like I'd put the phone in it, and it would just like wilt like a flower. Like it's actually hilarious. I'd put the camera in the thing, and it would just go like just slowly hang its head in shame. Okay, let's see if we can move it back, get a better angle. I need to get the whole thing. Need to get it all in there. Welcome to Painting Goo, where the sexual innuendo is boundless. Okay. See, this is the thing now, is just getting the orientation back. Nearly there. I could move the painting back a bit. Get a better fucking... Your mustache is growing another mustache. Actually, I need to fucking wash my beard. It's getting all like wiry. It's not all bushy. I didn't have a shower after I had a fucking workout earlier on. I wasn't arsed. Cause like I didn't get to bed till like 5 or some shit because I was chilling out with the gang playing Minecraft. Please excuse me whilst I descend to the proper painting of posture. Typical. Of course, on a Saturday I would have a stiff stool. Fucking my hair's in bits as well. Honestly, I think that just adds to it, looking like an absolute state. Like, greetings, mortals. Like he's fucking like Defender Usama is like neck deep in sake before every stream. Right. Okay. Let me see. A little bit to the right. No, a little bit to the left. Because obviously, you fucking retard. Okay. There we go. Right. Now we're getting there. We're getting there. Because I can't put the phone back any further. I have to move further back, which is not an issue. But I want to get the whole thing because you're missing like the spiders on the bottom and shit. This is the one thing I hate about the new. Well, it's not the one thing. There's many things I hate about our current setup. Poor microphone has just been sitting there, unused, unwanted, black and Jewish. But yeah, fucking the orientation's a pain in the hole. I just need to sell more paintings, buy myself a kick-ass camera. Right. Okay. Right. Well, we're getting there. We have the full thing in now. We just need to fucking tilt it a bit this way, move it a bit that way, jiggly puff it a bit this way. Right. We're blocking Tobias. We cannot do that. We cannot block Tobias. One of the lads in the creative thing is actually he's after making Kirby out of clay, and now he's working on Jigglypuff. It's hilarious. Okay. That'll do. Fuck it. Sure, he's not even watching me paint anyway. You just listen to me fucking shite on. Most of the time. In your endo, up your endo. In your endo, in my endo. Ha! Gay! I'm liking how the hive is turned out. It's one of the few times where, like, when I'm looking close at the thing, I'm liking the detail that I've managed to pull off. It's funny, like, as much as I love doing mechanical stuff, I seem to be, like, way more adept at doing organic shit. But I honestly, I think that's just because it's easier. There's an element of chaos to organisms that's, like, really easy to pull off. But I think darkening some of the webbings over the splits, like the tear marks here, exposing the green light. And then I'll try and highlight other areas. I think what I'm going to do on this stream is I'm going to highlight, I'm going to put it like, I'll make it a bit pink like I did with Mighty Bitey. So I'm going to brighten it up. And then once it's dry, I'm going to like darken sections of it to give it that nice kind of 3D contrast look. And I want the webbing on that's like the webbing and the tearing of the seams that's going over those tear marks and openings. If the light's coming through that and is right behind it, then they would be quite dark. So I'm gonna darken them and shit. And then hopefully I'll do a bit more work on the robot spiders up on the front, make them look a bit cooler. Maybe try and get some green light effects going, probably just on this guy and maybe on the back of this and this one. This guy's kind of out of range over here. And then I want to clean some of these up because they're very messy looking. I do myself no favors when I'm trying to do tiny details, which is hilarious because I'm doing these tiny little details on a thing that you guys can probably barely see, especially if you're watching it on your phone. But it's all worth it when I upload to the various social medias. Magias. Goddesses of Med. Fucking okay, that should do it. Right. Teeny tiny skinny bitch. Okay. This one, probably this one. Yeah, that probably. That will go. That will go. Yeah, Myro's kind of in my way right now. Move him over here. I like Tetris the shit out of my setup, like. Anyway, right. Yeah, fucking like getting fuck all sleep and then waking up early on a fucking weekend. To go help them put the fucking set thing into the event center where they're putting it on, like. And your mom was like, "Oh yeah, it's gonna be there for 11 o'clock." And I get there at 11 o'clock, and like they're done, and I'm just like, "What the fuck?" So I just went for a walk, came back, did a workout, had a fairly substantial breakfast. Some leftover. I made myself a really nice chili. The only thing missing from it was kidney beans. Other than that, it was fucking like cubed carrots. I think it was just one carrot. Carrot singular. What else did I put in it? Fucking onion, garlic, and then it was 15%. Like the missus usually prefers the leaner option when it comes to mince, but I'm trying to put some weight on, so I got the fattier one. 15%. Not that that means anything, but yeah, it's been a while since I had red meat, actually. I've been having a lot of fish and chicken and shit, like. It's just something about the blood. I love it. Right. Okay. What vibe are we feeling today? I'll start off at Nematode. Keep it kind of chill. And then we might turn it up a bit. 80 to 20 beef is my jam. Yeah, I like the fat. I like the fat. And it makes it cook better as well. Because you're not supposed to put oil in the pan or pot. I did it in a pot because I was doing like, a big chili thing. The fat helps it cook better. And not like burn and shit. Whereas if you have the really lean stuff, you risk charring it a bit. And you don't want that. Steak and burgers are the only thing that are supposed to have like char on them. Sometimes chicken. For like barbecuing shit, you allow for char. Adds to the flavor. Right, okay, where are we? Anything fucking Stabber-Usama, if you have the time today, could you have a look at Plex? Because I plan on trying to finish Samurai Jack. If you have the time. I know you're building speakers. So do not stress. I was very jealous of your sons going to the arcade with their father. I have very fond memories of playing Time Crisis. God, I miss that game. There's something so visceral about like, even though it wasn't a real gun, the fact that you were actually holding a gun. I had like a big fuck off, what were they called? Light guns or whatever. I had the gun con. I had a gun con version something, but it looked like a Judge Dredd pistol on steroids, and it had like red lights going up the side of it. No, it's fucking deadly. Okay. Okay. Right. Just this one section of hair at the back that isn't long enough to be put in the top knot yet. I've decided that I'm growing my mane back. And I'm gonna have hair down to my arse again. Leaves grow greener, reaching wide. It's magic, it's science, it's nature's art. From the forest floor to a gardener's heart. Right, let's start up here and work our way down. I'm gonna ascend into proper painting the bus shore. Make it easier on myself. Makes the earth one with the stars.
Fleeting hope deceives that try. Wood vinegar, healing leaves and chasing scars. Wood vinegar makes the earth one with the stars. Out in the hollow where the shadows creep, lives a man who tends to the soil's deep sleep. And stained black like the night he hides, turning where the fungi bite. He's the turning man, the keeper of decay, brewing life from death in his secret clay, whispering to worms, calling spores to rise. He's the turning man with his spectral eyes. Temperatures rise in his steaming heaps. He watches them breathe, he listens, he keeps a cauldron of compost, a witch's brew. What grows from the rot only he ever knew. Turning it over, the circles begun. Feeding the dark till it breaks the He's the turning man, keeper of decay, brewing life from death in his secret clay, whispering to worms, calling spores to rise. He's the turning man with his spectral He walks in a
I'm a sitting on my board.
Footsteps fall, a shadow over
Good God.
shadows, no face at all. Fungal fingers weave through his veins. Every breath he takes smells like rain. Smells like rain. Turning over and over and over and I'm a crop in a cage. Sterile field, measured sage. Hands on me, hands on me. Hands on me, hands on me, hands on me, hands on me. Dose after dose just to breathe. Glyphosate, glyphosate, glyphosate. They feed me chemicals, call it keeping me alive. But the soil is numb, and I can feel the sky. Everything's controlled, everything's restrained. They say it's healing, but I feel the change. Blood receded, torn and medicated, barren yet cultivated, gated, 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 overregulated. I'm not growing, I'm complying, roots dissolving, but still surviving. This isn't living, it's maintaining. I am the product, you're sustaining. I can't escape the dose, I can't escape the dose, I can't escape. Great things are done. Isolated. Reposated. Medicated. Medicated. One foot on the brake, gas pushed to the floor. So pumped in my veins, keep demanding me more. Glyphosated. 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 feel the squeeze. One amongst the feet.
It should be active. Nice one, bro.
Mashing teeth.
No mere female can comprehend the pain of sitting. It's like incredibly uncomfortable sometimes to like sit on the edge of the stool and let them hang over the edge of it. Like,
How sweet the taste, how sweet the smell, the perfect mix to break your cells. Pull the water from deep within, release nutrients for us to begin. I can feel the squeeze. One amongst the feet. 10 billion gnashing teeth. Turn the skin to meat. Osmotic release. Generation after generation, maceration, purification. The sweet release. Sweet release. Tangle, strangle, callous, dry, torn up, used up, poison, lies. Did you break ground or just tear me apart? Bring life back to my heart. Cover crop, cover me, hold me tight, lay me down, out of sight. Feed the unseen, deep below, layer by layer, generations grow. Cover crop. My breath, a sweet song unsung. I feel it shifting. Life is just begun. Rooted in promises, each sprout a thread, a tapestry of life that will never end. Let the storm strip me bare. The family we build will anchor us there. Cover crop, cover me, hold me tight, lay me down, out of sight. Feed the unseen, deep below, layer by layer, generations grow.
Looking very fleshy. Miraki.
Cover crop.
That's what I wanted to look. I wanted to look like semi, like disgusting, like a moth's birthing chamber or some shit. Like,
Black root. White thread.
how many speakers? Like, is that just a thing you do now, or like? I know you used to do it as a job. Like, where do you get all the materials from? You're like seriously fucking good at that shit, man. Like, they look professional as fuck when they're finished. Like, eventually when I have the money, we should do a trade. One of the, like, I'll send you over a painting. You send me some speakers. Don't worry, I'll send like a proper one. Like, you know. Would you prefer a Borg cube or a Borg sphere? Let me know. Or I could just do a Star Trek mural or some shit like. And then I have to do the Death's Head moth Russian MiG combo for Desmond Usama. Looks like something the Flood Gravemind would crap out. Yeah, like that's the kind of vibe I was, except not that sickly green colour, like puke green colour. I do kind of like the idea of like if a mighty bitey like gets really old and like accumulates a load of sentimental shit or eats too much metal or something, you know. Because think about it, a lot of sentimental items that people would have on them would be like a watch or a necklace or an amulet or a ring or like something like that belonged to their great grandparents or their father or some shit, like, you know, like a lot of sentimental shit would be metallic. So like it kind of makes sense that like if a mighty bitey gets really old and eats enough metal, that it turns into one of these things and just shits out a load of metal spiders. Now I want to put teeth on it.
Stir it slowly, alchemy flows. Grateful hands where the wild things grow. Mix the life with the earth below. I'm all it knows, it knows. Collect the life, let it thrive. Spread it out, multiply. I'm all the earth's on choir, feeding roots, sparking fire.
Ding, ding, ooh, ooh, ooh.
It's a recipe written in the stars and ground. A magic circle where life spins round. Life in water, vinegar and care. We become the earth. Become the we become the we become
Is that it? The phone is a vibrating a. Somebody has sent me a message. I always think it's hilarious to pronounce messages message. Like it's a messy gay. Agrifu-sama! Impossible! Nova in Karu with waifu. Glorious Deu. Indeed, glorious. How are you, Grifu-sama? Anytime I find myself slacking on the Japu speak, second Griff comes in, I'm just like... Impossible! Nova in Karu with waifu. Fuck. Oh, I fucking love it. Right, what's the... Do, 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 do. Right, I'm gonna start halfway down this one. Because I keep, like these playlists are huge and I keep starting at the top and then we never get to the bottom ones. The laptop is getting ready to launch. Oh, fuck. There's this jiu-jitsu guy called Craig Jones. I think he's an Australian. Yeah, I think he's Australian. I think they call him the octopus or something. Or his patented style of jiu-jitsu is the octopus guard or some shit. And the dude's mad dangerous. Like I've seen a couple of clips of him where he just like he's incredible. Like I don't know much about jiu-jitsu, but I can just tell by looking where I'm just like Jesus Christ. Like he's so like he is like an octopus. He's just like he's got that eel-like ability to just like get out of locks and get out of positions and like worm his way into other positions, and he always knows where his opponent is, even when he can't see them and shit. Like dude's really good at what he does. But I was watching this thing where it was like 24 times that he nearly died in 2024 or something. Like the dude's a fucking mad bastard, like going around partying with his crew and stuff and all between going to events and media things and all like. But he was in Ukraine, and one of the things that one of the soldiers said to him was just like really puts things into perspective in terms of like the current battlefield, like the current state of modern war. Like when I was growing up, like 10, 15 years ago, modern warfare, like when you're playing like Call of Duty or something like that, like the way it's sold to you is like it's still tanks and guys with guns and ground troops and jets and naval ships and like, artillery and all. Like it's still essentially what it has been for like a couple of 100 years, like, But now, because of drone technology, the millions of dollars that a military, like say the American military or something, would spend on developing a single tank, all that steel, all the munitions, all of that crap, like, versus like the 500 quid it costs to make a drone, and the drone carries an explosive ordnance powerful enough to take out a tank. So you have like $1 million tank and a $500 drone, and the drone can murk the tank. And so I was seeing a meme there the other day where it was like they've started to dress armored vehicles in this weird mesh stuff to make them more resistant to drone attacks and stuff. But the thing that the Ukrainian soldier said was, like you see a tank, you can run away from a tank, or if like they're bombing a place, like you can run into a building or something like that and take cover. Like a drone will follow you into a building and kill you. like a drone will come in a window and kill you, like follow you down a hallway and all, like, and fucking that shit is terrifying. Like that shit really is terrifying. Where like instead of like what they're doing in Gaza or whatever, where they just like fucking they level the place and reduce it to fucking rubble and dust, and they're there like shooting at people that are trying to get fucking like some of the videos I've seen. I was watching Jake Shields thing there the other day, and fuck me, like what kind of like monster do you have to be to open fire at people trying to get at food? Now I know that things can be framed in certain ways and stuff like that. Like, some like, they might be showing a lot of people trying to get food and then showing a lot of soldiers like shooting at like, I don't know, like fucking a lot of people pretending to get food or something. Like you don't know, but on the face of it, it is just kind of like, and I don't go around Telegram and like I don't go looking for, raw footage stuff. I don't want to see that shit. I've seen enough dark stuff. I know how dark people can be. I know how dark the world can be. Like I don't need to see like dead kids and shit. Like, I don't need those images in my head. I was on rotten.com back in like, 2010 and stuff, and seeing guys' heads blown apart by 50 cals and helicopter blades and all this crap. Like, it's like I've seen enough morbid shit, like. And I don't doubt that they're doing like horrible stuff, like, but it is really fucked up that we could be entering a time where like instead of like Russia like rolling into a place like Ukraine and just shooting the place up, and just like putting holes in things and blowing things up, and like, fucking using ordnance and munitions and shit. Um, we could be looking at a situation like I've been talking about this for years now, where like you are probably going to see some Judge Dredd style mega cities or whatever, and they might not look like they did in Judge Dredd, where they're like absolutely fucking intense in terms of their like Blade Runner esque. That might be like 200 years from now, 300 years from now, or some shit like. But now, like right now, we already have like a possible scenario where like they could release a swarm of drones into a populated area and just program them to just follow heat signatures. Like you don't even need to have a sophisticated like algorithm or software that's a human, scan it. That's a armed human, scan it again. The gun it's carrying is military issue. Okay, it's military target, attack it and kill it or whatever. That like these things would just be like, it's like the Predator missiles and stuff. It's like it just sees heat and just goes for it. Like, and if you release a swarm of those things into a populated area, like, don't get me wrong, I know there's like innovative ways to like counteract that. Like, like you could make the place really cold, get like a load of fucking, if you know your chemistry, I'm sure there's a easy enough way to like release a load of cold air into a place to mask people, or you could just create something that is like way hotter, like something of a much higher temperature, and they'd all fly towards that like flares or whatever. But then you get the scenario of like they actually have like, you could have one guy controlling maybe like 10, 15 drones, like as a swarm, like not individually. It'd be probably like you could maybe control 2 or 3. If you had some fucking Adderall riddled fucking autist, you could have maybe 6, where he could like fucking. But that seems like fairly like not impossible, but like unlikely to me. It'd be way more likely that you'd actually just have a load of them that are small that you control, like a flock of birds or a swarm, and you could just you just fucking follow people, like you go through windows. If you need to make an entrance, you could just like sacrifice some of the swarm to like you just like have these different what would you call it, like different, I don't know what the technical term would be, but you'd have like different capabilities, different programmed modes of the swarm, where you could like tell the whole swarm to hover in one location while 2 of them go forward and like make a hole in a wall, and then the rest of the swarm goes through. Like you could have a thing where you just like hold the swarm in one location, or even land the swarm temporarily, and one of them scouts ahead through like a fucking like an air vent and shit. And you have some of those guys that are like, those drones are small enough and maneuverable enough and fast enough, and like more like maneuverable enough. They're agile enough that these guys could like direct them down all sorts of fucking places in a building, or through dense forested areas, and like even like some jungle areas, like broken down buildings and stuff and all. Like it's like it wouldn't be difficult at all. The same thing, even if they have a reinforced window, is you send one drone at the fucking wall and just blow a hole in it, and then the rest of them are just in. It's really fucked up, because like like I said before, it's like there's no honor in that. Like there's no honor in that kind of combat. Like all sense of honorable like bloodletting, like actual like mortal combat, where there was like a sense of duty and honor and like a bit of pride in your skill as a fighter or killer or whatever. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's all gone now. You know, like even being a really good shot with a gun or whatever. Like, you know, when it used to be a really good throwing arm or a really good shot with a bow or really good with a sword or like really good on a horse with a bow. Like, it's all gone now. Now it's just some dude controlling robots, and it won't be that long before you don't need the guy to control the robots. They'll just be autonomous fucking like, and that would be really dangerous because they could backfire the fuck, you know. They could like bug out and start attacking your own people and shit, or people could wirelessly hack them and stuff. Like it's like it's a really fucked up situation. Like, really fucked up situation. There's yeah, there's just no honor in it, and that makes me very like not just like angry, but very sad. Like, because it's like that's just like another way that like we're removing like humanity from every aspect of like how we interact with each other. Because like obviously nobody wants to get killed in a fight or a battle, but if the purpose and the reasoning, the rationale behind the fight is at least justifiable to a like rational human mind, where it's like, well, I'm defending my home and my land and my like, you know, my family and my lineage and my ancestry and all these things, like, and there's this kind of like pride taken in it where it's like the regality and the quality of the armor and all this stuff, like that's all gone. And now it's just like, you know, well, why would we spend $1 million? And like think about it, like you spend $1 million on like a tank or whatever, or 500 grand or whatever it costs. Like, it's a shit ton of money just for one tank. But at least that employs people to like build the thing, design the thing. You know, there's like metal workers, munitions people, like all this stuff, like all those jobs to form this weapon of war that is then used to like, you know, I know, fight for a bank essentially, um, which is fucked up. But like now it's even worse. Like we're just like doubling down as a species constantly. Of like now it's really cheap to kill each other. Like like now it's relatively cheap and way more effective. Like now it's safe and effective. Like that is, man, that's dark. Drones are safe and effective. Like you could be sitting in an apartment block 6 miles away and you're like killing the enemy, like, you know. And the enemy is a bunch of civilians, like it's fucking that's dark, man. The Russians call them hedgehog tanks. They look silly, but it's necessary. Wrecks the Soviet aesthetic of the tanks. Yeah, like see, like it's mad, like, but that's what it's funny, isn't it? It's like they look silly, but it's necessary. It's like on a level, like on a level, um, swords, arrows, spears, um, guns, they're all an extension of the phallus. You're penetrating the enemy, you know, which is like a really raw, primal, physical form of imposing your masculine will on another man. Um, and then, of course, the really degenerative like form of that would be like, you know, fucking him in the ass or something, like, and you get all that like rape, and that's why you see that in prisons where like, you know, they turn men into bitches. Like it's very animalistic behavior, you know, when you're talking about the actual phallus, but and how that's used to hurt other human beings, whether it be male or female. But then the phallus becomes a weapon, you know, where it's like you have embodied the phallic nature into a sword or a spear or an arrow or a tank or a gun, or like they're all shaped, everything's shaped like cocks. Like look at bullets, they look like little cocks. Like I mean, it's like like they even have like a shaft and a head. Like, do you know what I mean? So like, war is gay. like, like, like war is really gay. Like, and it's like it doesn't like it doesn't produce anything good. It produces stuff because there's loads of production in terms of the weaponry and shit like that, and uniforms and the armor and all this stuff, like, you know, and there's like chefs and like engineers, all this fucking like all this crap that's generated in order to perform war. But it's hilariously gay when you look at it like that, like, you know. And that's why, like, I think that the least gay version of it is a fist fight, you know, like the least like that's why I really respect like like martial arts and the martial ways, where it's like if you can physically, like the Greco-Roman wrestling and stuff, if you can physically overpower another man with a combination of strength and technique, then it's like it's obvious that, like, if you wanted to, you could fuck him in the ass, but like, you're not a fag, so you're not going to, like. So that's almost even worse psychologically, where like you don't even take him as property, you don't even conquer him in his wholeness, you just defeat him, and then you have the impulse control and the sense of dignity and honor to, you know, not finish the job or kill him or whatever. Like, I would argue killing him is like, depending on the context, depending on what he did or what the battle is over, is like the honorable thing to do, is to like, is to complete the thing. But then I would also agree with the argument that, like, thou shalt not kill, because like there is a aspect of defeating someone and then letting them live that is like worse on the psyche, you know, like the whole ego thing, um like you see that a lot in like battles and all, where like some guy has been defeated, especially like in the whole Japanese culture thing, and he's like, fucking finish me, do it, kill me, and all. Like, you see that in a lot of movies where the bad guy is like, go on, do it, kill me, and the good guy's like, no, I'm not going to kill you, like. And then the bad guy does something that almost gives the good guy no option but to kill him, or the bad guy does something and kills himself. The way Clayton dies in Disney's Tarzan is brilliant, because Tarzan doesn't kill him, Clayton kills himself, because he's like trapped in the vines, and Tarzan has like taken his gun and like beaten the shit out of him, and like essentially defeated him, and is just like just sitting in the tree looking at him. And Clayton can't handle it, so he starts taking out his machete and starts cutting the vines away. And Tarzan tries to save him and warns him, and he's like, Clayton, no. And Clayton slices a pair of vines that are like suspending him, and there's another pair of vines that are like under his throat, and he falls, and he like doesn't even like, he snaps his own neck. He doesn't even like, you know, choke himself out. Like, he falls a good like 30-40 feet and snaps his own neck, and Tarzan is like sad to witness that. Like, I always found that to be like one of the most like that's a really good character, is like, he doesn't want to kill you, but he's gonna stop you from doing bad stuff, you know. And like, it takes way more self-control and way more skill and way more strength and inner strength and training and all these things to be able to immobilize an enemy, and not kill him. It's actually one of the things that has made me respect jiu-jitsu more, because like, if you can get a hold of a dude and put him in a position where like you put him in enough pain that he's like, oh, stop, or whatever like that, and you're like, yeah, you're gonna stop, you're gonna get, like, you run the risk of letting him go, and then he fucking tries it again. But you can just break something, You know, you could just like snap his shin or snap his femur or snap his fucking wrist, or you could even if you have him in a good enough hold, depending on the situation, like you could just take a finger and break a finger. And there'd be a lot of guys that wouldn't be able to take that kind of pain. Do you know what I mean? Like where you just like snap his finger and like you'd be like ah, like, you know, and that would be enough to like get him to realize that he doesn't stand a chance. Like, do you know what I mean? Obviously, like there would be some personality types that like they like get very animalistic and they'd start biting you and stuff. But like if you're already in the control, if you're already in the power position, you know, like I'm not saying snap his neck or some shit, like, do you know what I mean? But like breaking an arm or a leg generally would be enough to like completely shut down the nervous system to the point where someone would just be holding the limb in question and like rocking back and forth, like, you know, like especially if you just proper like just snapped it, like, you know. But there's also things like adrenaline and shit, like, you know, you could snap a guy's shit and he might not like react, you know, which is why knocking the fucker out is like typically the way to go. Like that's like I would generally go straight for the neck, because then you have the option to immobilize, submit, like render him unconscious or kill him if you need to, you know, that kind of thing. And like that's like so much more, there's so much more honor in that than like even a sword fight, you know. Like I would still rank, obviously, like the way I would rank things would be like, you know, like a sword fight is like obviously above a gunfight and so on and so forth, like, but the most like stoic masculine the most based thing you could do is just fight a guy like barehanded, like Valet Tudo style, no gloves, no anything, like, you know, you just like the two of you are just standing there in like shorts or whatever, and you have rules like, you know, no eye gouging, no fish hooking, no like I've never heard anyone like talk about it, but like like there probably is a rule against like putting your fingers under the rib cage and pulling up, because like fuck me, that messes you up, like the I'm gonna talk about some t-shirts for the farm. Oh, that's class. Yeah, man, he's your man. The stuff Printer Bear does is awesome. The stuff Printer Bear does is like, those t-shirts are really high quality. They're fucking deadly. What I find most disturbing is that some of our soldiers were over there to guard the ration areas, and they were cheerfully opening fire on people just getting food. Yeah, like that's what I like. I saw that stuff. Like it's like, you know, still part of me is skeptical, because I'm kind of like I know people can be fucking like, there was a female American soldier who got was it dishonorably discharged and then like, you know, imprisoned or whatever, because she was involved in taking photos of, I think it was Iraqi POWs, prisoners of war, and they were like torturing them and like killing them while torturing them, like you know, the torture resulted in their death or whatever. And she's like, you know, taking photos like beside a guy's corpse and shit, like, you know. And it's like, when you've reached that level of dehumanization, where you see your enemy as not human, and that's kind of like, I have that feeling about the whole Epstein list and the Jews and all that, like, do you know what I mean? Like, where it's like, we need to be really careful that we don't actually reduce them to like, because I think that's a kind of a trick that they're playing, where they're like, oh, they think we're all parasites and demons, which is going to make a load of us freak out and try and kill them, which is going to give them the, you know, Holocaust narrative again. Oh, they're trying to hurt me, like, you know, like, it gives them like the moral high ground again or some shit like. Um, Now, having said that, I do think that I do think it is possible that like certain human beings are essentially not human anymore, whether it be a thing of parasites or demons or both or whatever. Um, but if anything, that kind of makes more sense because then they would probably be like incredibly sophisticated and intelligent and very old and would understand that they don't need to defeat us on a battlefield when they can make us do stuff. Uh, they can make us make mistakes. Like you're playing chess, you know. Like why would you why would you risk a upfront assault and risk losing lots of your units when you can like appear weak in some kind of way or get your opponent to make a major mistake that you can capitalize on, like, you know. It's like it's all the same. It's all fighting, um you know, art, sex, like cooking, building stuff. Like it's all everything is essentially the same on a level where there's this like give and take, push and pull, and awareness of what can be done in the context of the game you're playing. And that's why I always think it's like when I end up saying it's like if you know, you know, you know, you know, like it's 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 a combination of it's if you know something, if you know that the enemy knows that you know, like, it sounds like that I hate the English language, but I love it as well because it's hilarious. But that's what a lot of it is. If they know that you know, but you don't know that they know that you know, then you're at a disadvantage. It's that whole 5D chess thing, but that's only like what 3D chess. That's what I think is fascinating. The whole fucking like Breaking Bad has a lot of that. Walter's trying to stay like one step ahead. I need to watch that show again. But you see that in a lot of anime when they're fighting each other. A lot of anime has that where it's like they'll do all this exposition and talking, and then they'll fight. And during the fight, they're like conscious of like what is going on, and he's like, "Oh my god, he knows that I'm trying to do this, and he's doing this. Like, fuck, how am I going to defeat him?" Like, you know, while they're throwing punches and kicks at each other and flying around throwing fireballs, their meta awareness of the situation, their third person perspective of what they're engaged in, is incredible. Like, do you know what I mean? And that's what they do. They have a meta awareness of the situation that we're all engaged in. Like, and I'd say that's one of the things that allows them to fall to such an arrogant position where like they think we're cattle because we're stupid. But that's where the rules kind of have been, not kind of, the rules have been skewed. The rules have been bent to near breaking point, where they have actively made moves to make people stupid and ignorant and unaware of the rules and what games are being played. So it's like piss easy for them to just get away with everything. But it's kind of like the whole Bane versus Batman thing, where it's like, oh, victory has cost you your victory has defeated you. Like, you know, like their desire to make everything easy for themselves has made them weak, arrogant, and ultimately stupid, because like you'll have a few of the top elite or whatever, you know, these fucking monsters. You don't even want to refer to them as elite. You'll have a few of them at the top that like really know what they're doing. Nobody knows their names. And the underlings like Bill Gates, Jeffrey Epstein, and all these like Hollywood types and bankers and so on and so forth, like, are probably terrified of them. Do you know what I mean? Like I've always thought that like people would always say stuff about like, you know, UFC fighters like Anderson Silva, or even martial arts practitioners like Michael Jai White and stuff. that like, oh, like he's so dangerous, like he'd like kill you and all this stuff and all, like. And then you look at like military guys, like soldiers, um and the reality is that like they're not actually trained to fight in like mortal combat like without a weapon, you know. So they're not actually as dangerous unless they have a knife or a gun or any of these things, like. um and I always wondered to myself, like, there's like I would love to, maybe I wouldn't, but I'd love to meet the good version anyway. I'd love to meet someone who is so physically dangerous. Like, imagine the aura off that guy, like a fucking Super Saiyan out of Dragon Ball. Like, do you know what I mean? Where like his inner stillness is to such a degree because like he's so aware of his own capabilities. Like, he's so fast, he's so strong. He knows like all the angles, combinations, possible like variables and stances, distance control. The tells and telegraphs, and the what gives certain people away, like if his shoulders are forward, or like if his posture is back, or if his muscles are too large in certain areas, and if he's got like tight hips or any of these things, like it's like, oh, he won't be able to kick my head because of whatever, like it's like if you had these guys who were like not if I think there's probably still like how cool would that be? Like, you'd make a cartoon out of that for sure. Like, where at the top, how everything is actually decided and none of us know about it is like that fight that like Bruce Lee had in the fucking what was the Bruce Lee movie called? I can't fucking remember now. It's not called like Enter the Dragon or anything. Like, not the Bruce Lee movies. The movie about Bruce Lee that your man like Jason Lee or whatever was in. Like, apparently Bruce Lee like had this like this like Mortal Kombat fight with a dude and got his back broken by some dude because he wasn't the Chinese syndicate didn't want him teaching kung fu in America. Like, "You are teaching our ways to the Guaylo, heretic." Like, this is blasphemy. Um, which, when you think about it, makes a lot of sense. I mean, why would you want foreigners knowing your battle techniques and stuff, like, especially when some of the stuff is like really fucking effective, like, and it's not just like the moves, like a left kick or a right cross or a crescent kick or any of these things. It's the knowledge. It's the knowledge of like the training as well, like, how you can make yourself like lightning quick, how you can make your tendons like ridiculously strong, like, like big guys are strong in a sense, but like there's a different kind of strength. Like, you see the jiu-jitsu guys, like, you know what I mean? Now, I know a lot of the famous ones are on roids, like Gordon Ryan and shit, like, and probably even your man Craig Jones too. Um, but tendon strength and nerve ending applicability, nerve ending like activation is actually what makes somebody like really strong. And that's why I like doing like really slow stuff, slow and controlled shit. Like I've heard that thing that like time under tension is like where like the basics of strength actually lies, where it's like just being able to like hold, like Bruce Lee did a lot of that shit where he had like isometrics, where he would try and lift a weight that he couldn't lift, but he would try and lift it for as long as possible so that his muscles were just like in overdrive for like a minute, 2 minutes, like, which is like a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Like, it doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're exerting, like when your nervous system is like just like firing and trying to do something intense for that length of time, it does wild shit to your body. Like, I mean, when you look at chimpanzees, like chimpanzees aren't like, they're not swole, they're jacked. There's a big difference, like, and they could like literally just rip you apart like fucking Chewbacca, like. And even when you look at something like a gorilla, like, sure, like they're obviously like, they obviously have like a big muscle structure, but they're not like these bloated like gym junkies that are just that, like, they can't even put their arms down at their sides because their lats are so big and all this fucking shit, like. And you look at that fucking guy who goes, that guy in the YouTube videos that goes around with the mop that weighs like fucking 30 kilos or some shit. Um, he's not like the whole like that's why he looks so unassuming, because he's like, what do they call it, like a sleeper build, where like you don't look incredibly strong, but you are, and it's not because of the size of your muscles or whatever. It's technique, but it's the nerve, the mind body connection, the fascia, the stuff that like webbing that nets everything together under the muscles, or like between the muscles and the tendons and the skin, and then so it's your ability to actually activate the muscle, and then it's like how generally like how hard the muscle is, you know like you like when you put hands on another dude, if you know, if you know, like, you know what I mean, where like you can instantly like Owen spoke about it when he had Jake over, like, Jake's like half his size, but there's just that aura that, that like he could kill you, like, do you know what I mean, like with his bare hands, like, and like that's the stuff that I've always been fascinated with, is just like developing that, like, that aura, that like that kind of strength where like you could just like grab a hold of someone and just slowly pry their grip off you, or like grab a hold of someone in, like, in a leveraged position and just slowly turn, and just something would just snap, and that's like that in itself is also leads me to why I like have such a disdain for modern combat, you know because it's like it's got none of that. It's everything's just a tool. Everything is just a tool of death. And you just like we're basically at the stage now where you just go, who are we killing? Okay, and you press a button and somebody dies, which is just like, what the fuck, like. Um, yeah, the Abu Ghraib scandal was fucked. What scandal was that? Was that the one I was talking about, where your one was taking photos with the tortured POWs? That's what that was called? Was it Abu Ghraib? Yeah, like the American army got like fucking they got into loads of trouble because they were like pissing on corpses and stuff. No, I think Owen mentioned it one time as well. Like, now I know it goes both ways, like when the animalistic uh factions of humanity are going toe to toe, both sides do like fucked up shit. But again, like Owen has mentioned before, and the stories that I've heard of as well, it's like in movies and shit as well, where like what did I call them? The jackals, where like the tactics that certain nations have used against each other to provoke another nation, and then make it look like, oh, look, they're trying to hurt me. It's like, dude, you snuck in and butchered their family in the middle of the night. Like, what the fuck? Like, and then you have all these military secrets and all, like, and it's like obviously you want your nation to have an ability to defend itself from foreigners. But then there's the argument of like, well, why would a foreign entity want to, like, you know put boots on the ground on your, like, that hasn't happened in the sense of, like, I know Ukraine and all, like, where the Russians just went in, but it's like, it's not like it used to be where like everything just got like fuck it, like, and they installed the, like, it kind of is, but it isn't really, like, do you know what I mean? It's not like the whole army shows up and then it's just like a big battle and then like everything's kind of settled or whatever. These wars that we've like engaged in modern times, like, they're like these like stupid proxy wars that are like a lot, like, there's a lot of politics involved and shit, and then the media is involved as well, and like it's like it's just so sickening. There's just such a glaring lack of honor in the whole thing that it really, like I used to respect soldiers, you know, and now I don't, because and it's the same with like police and guards and stuff like that. It's like I don't respect anyone who could work for these institutions that are obviously corrupt. And the argument of like, yeah, well, you got to fight it from the inside and all is like utterly retarded, because the only way you're getting those jobs now is by adhering to lunacy, you know? So like all the people who are like, especially now, like if you're joining the military now, if you're joining a police force now, like you're enforcing, especially if you live in a country like England or something like that, like you're enforcing nonsense. You're enforcing demonic nonsense on your fellow man. It would be far more like honorable to like set up like, you know, not like vigilante stuff, but like to just like defend each other when needed, you know, like to train together as a community in the ways of war, I suppose, but on a very basic level, you know. And like you see that a lot in like ghetto areas where like, you know, you have these guys who open up a gym and teach all the kids how to fight and all, and it makes a huge difference. Makes a huge difference. Because like guys who know how to fight and guys who train together, and like not only do you develop a respect for each other and all, like, but you develop that sense of like inner peace. You don't have something to prove, you know. It's just so much better, like. And it's sad to see how things are now, where like we're in a very poor state collectively, where things have just become so perverted and inverted and corrupt, and there's no honor, and you know, like all the people that like the Epstein files has become like fetishized. Like, do you know what I mean? Like everyone's like chomping at the bit to get like the next bit of info. Like, and I've fallen victim to it as well. Like I've fucking, well, not fallen victim to it. I've allowed myself to make that mistake, is probably a better way to put it. It's more like, um, is the phone gonna die? Hang on a sec. I just want to check the battery on this. I don't know if I can check the battery on this. Oh no, yeah, it's on 50%. It's fine. I've done that myself. Like I fucking watched all the stuff and like, you know, but like it's so much better for you to just laugh at stuff, you know. Like that's why I have so much respect for Owen and what he's done, and why I enjoy his streams and stuff like that and all. Like, and that's why I'm not the only one. Like there's thousands of us like all over the realm that like really respect that dude, and he's just one man, and he's not like, it's not like he did anything like, you know, like the legends of old, you know. And he'll say it himself, it's like, all I did was go, that's bullshit, I'm not doing that. And look how they reacted. Like, because if anything, that gives you an idea of how far we have fallen. Is that's all you need to do, really, is just be like, no, I'm not gonna do that. And like they like freak the fuck out and eat each other's faces off. like we're blessed to be in a time where like all of this information is just like widely available now, and like more and more people are talking about it, and like we don't have to deal with this like could you imagine being back in the day like and getting conscripted and like tossed in a van by like your fellow like dudes you probably went to school with or some shit, like, and they like wrestle you into a fucking van, and then like if you still refuse to like join the army or whatever, they send you to prison. Isn't that what they did to fucking Muhammad Ali? Like they were like, go to war, nigger, and he was like, fuck you, and then they put him in jail for a while. Like that's what I'd be like. I'd be like, I'm not fucking doing anything for you guys. Like, fuck that shit. Fuck that noise, like. 3 hots and a cot and like a lot of time to read and work out. Yeah, whatever. Fucking, like I'll take that over fighting for a fucking global demonic hierarchy any day. Like fuck that shit. Like, it's mad. Like it's utter madness. Like yeah, the Iraqi POW prison, Abu Ghraib. Man, Arab shit sounds awesome. Like the Arabs are class. Persian women are beautiful. Like, it's one of the that's one of the things I find so fucking annoying about all of this like woke, anti-racist stuff and all this shit. Where it's like, if I wasn't like discriminate when it came to like noticing the differences between races and how we're not all the same, then I wouldn't be able to appreciate how like incredibly beautiful the various types of women are from around the realm. How like Russians are like badass in so many ways, and like, everybody loves the samurai from Japan. Like there isn't a man alive that doesn't really think or doesn't think that the Romans and the samurai are like the coolest warriors we've ever had, like for so many reasons and shit. Like, and it like the fucking the Native American fighting styles and stuff like that, when you see it, like the Comanche or the, what do you call it, the Iroquois or Comanche, the fucking, what's the like blanket term for all of them that's not just like Native American? Don't they have like the Diné? I know that's what they call themselves, but like the way they fight, fucking awesome. Assassin's Creed 3, in my opinion, like had the best combat system for that exact reason. Like, you have lads like trying to poke you with a fucking musket with a bayonet on the end of it, and you're just like swiping it out of the way with the tomahawk, slitting his throat open, fucking cupping the thing under and putting him on his ass with a fucking judo toss kind of situation, like throwing a dagger at another guy and all. Like, you'd like end 10 guys in fucking 12 seconds. Like the way the movie The Patriot, Mel Gibson, when he goes into the forest and he like lines up all the rifles and like shoots most of them, and there's like what 6, 7 of them left, and they're like reloading and shit. And he just runs in with a knife and a tomahawk, and it's just like ba 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 ba, and then one of them tries to run, and he just fucks it at him and hits him in the back, and then proceeds to go ape shit. Like, it's like, it's one of the most animalistic yet ridiculously effective and very intuitive ways of fighting. Like, do you know what I mean? I know there's a lot of people that would like argue against holding things in reverse grip, but there's loads of reasons for that. I mean, like, you can get way more force behind a stab and a drag when you hold a knife like that. It's much of a muchness, really. Obviously, holding a sword like this is probably not a good idea for lots of reasons, but like a dagger or a sai or like any kind of short weapon, like there's loads of benefits to doing that shit and all. Like, it's fascinating. Like there's so many reasons why, like, it's like the karma, the karmic consequences of fighting properly and fighting with a sense of skill and honor and practice and all this fucking stuff, instead of just like shooting each other. Like, it's horrible. Like, and this is coming from a guy who loves sniping. Like, I'll go to prison with my head held high if I get drafted. No, insert enemy of Israel ever called me a guy. Yeah, tell me about it. Like, tell me about it. I need to watch The Patriot again. Yeah, I need to watch The Patriot, Highlander, Apocalypto. I haven't seen Hacksaw Ridge. Apparently that's really good. I kind of want to watch The Passion of Christ again. Like, I've seen a lot of stuff that's like, I don't know. Don't get me wrong. I think Jesus, as far as like a character in history, is like way cooler than Muhammad or what's the fucking what's the Jewish? Is there a Jewish one? There isn't, is there? Isn't that funny? Like they have rabbis, but like who's the like head nigga of the Jews? Like like you have Jesus, and then that's like the Christian religion. But apparently he was a Jew, but the Jews got the Romans to kill Jesus. Like the Jewish stuff is so confusing. Like don't get me wrong, it's really cool when you see those things on Instagram of like allegedly a Torah uh practicing Jew in Israel going up to like those like mad fuckers with the curly shit and the hats and all like and the beards and you know like the what are they they're the Talmudic Jews or whatever, Hasidic Jews, I don't know, like there's so many different fucking types in them. Like it's the same with the Christians. I said, how many different types of Muslims are? It's like Sunni and Shia, or is that even a Muslim thing, or is that like an Arabic thing? So I mean, it's like the idea that there could be a global fucking global unification is so fucking retarded. It's such a self-report of like just a glaring disconnect from these people in suits talking at events, being like, "Yeah, well, the world needs to be unified on a global, interconnected scale, and we need to set aside our differences." These idealists, these liars, hypocrites, con artists, grifters, like talking about like you need to fucking, you know, buy an electric car while they carve an 80-mile long path through the Amazon to have a fucking meeting. Like, Jimmy, it's like why don't we have a conspiracy of people, like a syndicate of people, a fucking like you think the group, or you think the 300, the Olympians or whatever the fuck they're called, the guys that are supposed to be at the tippy top of the pyramid of like you know the hidden hand bullshit, like the real powers, that the dark powers that run the world, like you would think that there would be a good version of it, like, do you know what I mean, where like there's a group of people who like have amassed an incredible amount of wealth and power and interconnectivity and resources, and they like do awesome shit and build awesome shit and like make great movies and amazing music and all this fucking stuff. But like it really does give you the impression that we're living in the little season that the Bible apparently talks about or whatever, like where like Satan will be loosed upon the realm and all, like for a period of time. And when you look at all the old structures and stuff like the cathedrals and all that shit, it does make a lot of sense that like was there like a 1,000-year reign of like elven like fucking beauty and good true beautiful stuff where like everybody was just like vibing high and having big families and like think about it. Like think about all the fucking shit that has happened in the past where like millions of people have allegedly been killed. Like fucking Genghis Khan, all the like the shit with Mao, Pol Pot, fucking both world wars, all this fucking nonsense of just like rivers of blood, you know. It's fucking tragic, man. Like, but then you could also like if there was like millions and millions, like billions, if there was billions of us all over the realm, even if we were doing really cool shit, like you could argue that that's a bad thing. Using all those resources, like carving all this stuff out and all, like Like that's one of the things that makes me think that it is just like cycles over and over and over and over again. And that's the only context in which I'm like, this place is probably like trillions of years old. Never mind billions or millions. It's like this place is probably like it's just always been, you know, and like what all the known religions think of as God or the source is like it's always been there. It's never not been there. You know, like because like the whole thing of like outside this place is like it's outside time and space, you know, which means it's outside like now now like so that doesn't exist, and then it's also outside space, so it's like, well, none of this exists, so what is it then? Fucking dark matter, like, like Baal, Molech, Satan, or are their guys. Yeah, but it like, does it say that in the Torah? Like that's where I'm coming from is like, so like the good Jews, you know, like just a load of people like no such thing. It's like, but there is though. Like there's a load of Jews that are like totally killed. They're not down with the whole like baby eating bullshit, like, you know. So like, because like the Muslims acknowledge Jesus, they're like peace be upon him, and as far as I've heard, it's only in the Talmud that Jesus is suffering in a fucking cauldron or a pit of piss and shit or something, like boiling in feces and urine. So like, what's the good Jews' Messiah? Is it like Moses? Is it just some rabbi guy? Like, you know what I mean? Because like when you go back, like the oldest one is like that Zarathustra dude or whatever, Zoroastrianism. So like, and like all that shit was like Arabic and Persian and stuff. Like, who knows? 6 quadrillion years old or 6,000. Yeah, like part of me really does think. I was only saying that to your man Brendan from the community thing there the other day. Like, there is a part of me that genuinely thinks that this whole notion of like, oh, that was a long time ago. Like, look at how quickly things change, like in our lifetimes. Look at how quickly like weapons are developed, tools become more advanced. Like, you know what I mean? Like, granted, you know, iPhone 8 is the same as iPhone 16 fundamentally, but those are the like fucked up inverted people that don't actually like progress with anything. They're just there to make money off of other human beings. Like, but look at how much progress has been made in the bear community in like the past 10 years. From a comedian playing piano on a stream to they have their own beef. In a decade. Like, you know, like, look at the progress Painting You has made in 6 years. Look at the progress I've made as an artist in 6 years. So like 100 years is a fucking long time with a fuckload of data, with a fuckload of shit being done. They just give you the impression that it's not. And like, your perception of time is another thing that does that as well, because we've all had those days that feel like they're 3 days long. But it's always like in school or a job you hate. You know, the saying "time flies when you're having fun" is like when you're enjoying life, shit moves really quickly and like moves and improves and gets better and does all these things. But then at the same time, there's this weird kind of juxtaposition, this weird paradox where like, I don't feel like I'm getting older. Do you know, it's weird. Like sure, my body might be a bit run down, but that's just because I haven't taken care of it. Like this, it's lines of thinking like that like always bring me back to the whole fucking you are the placebo thing, like the placebo effect and shit like that. Like look at the damage that we do to ourselves and each other and well, you could probably just leave it at that. Like, look at the damage we do to ourselves and each other. Just because we believe the bullshit they peddle to us. So imagine the kind of like epic shit that we would be up to if our mindsets were different and we believed in different shit. Like, but like we've been stuck in this fucking thing for so long. We're all like trauma bonded to a certain notion of reality. And again, like I'm no different. The amount, like, especially the past year, the amount of times I've woken up and just like not wanted to get out of the bed. But I've been blessed like the past like 7, 8, 9 years. I spent like 2026. Yeah, like, ballpark the last like 7 years. I've been blessed with like moments that have made me feel like I'm aging in reverse or something. Like I'm still a teenager and I'm like healing or some shit. Like it's weird, man. Like I think your mind and I'm not talking about your brain, you know, your consciousness really does, like your frequency, your vibe, like or whatever, really does essentially dictate like the basis of your reality. And that's why belief is so like that makes so much sense. That's why belief is so powerful. That's why they like, you know, this is your reality. Bong. Give me money. This is your reality. Bong. Like and like think about how much sense that makes in terms of like sound and frequency and cymatics and all this fucking shit, whether it's like visual or audible or any of these things where it's like they're just casting spells. They're just like blah, and like they are projecting onto us, and we receive that, and we're like, "Oh no, that's true." And then look what it does to us. You know, like that's the stuff that I really appreciate about the character of Jesus, where he's like just walking around pure chill hippie style, just being like, you know, I forgive you. And people are like, I can see again. Like, it's like, dude is like altering reality in moments. Like, you know, people say, how are we going to feed all these people? And he just like takes a fish out of a basket. It's like, it's always been here, brother. Like, it's like his ability to just like snap people out of the matrix where they're like, oh my God, what the fuck? Like, you know, it's like that shit I really respect. Like the idea of somebody like that to me is like really fucking cool. I like Jesus. He sounds like a cool dude. But all the religions like are just to me just stories and fucking and nothing more. You know, and don't get me wrong, some of the stories are fucking epic. Like the fucking Hindu stuff is like awesome. You know, like it's basically like Marvel versus DC. Like, you know what I mean? I don't care what anyone says. Some of the Bollywood stuff is fucking epic and hilarious. Like, who wouldn't want to see a dragon? Like all the Asian shit. Like, I know the West has dragons too, but you don't really hear about a lot of that, really. Like, unfortunately. Most of the dragon shit we have comes from like um, the Eastern stuff. There's like way more of it, like, you know. All the Western dragon stuff is just like there's a dragon, there's a mountain, there's lots of gold, he breathes fire. There's a dude, he's gonna kill it. Has to hit it in the heart, like, or some shit. Like, it's like the same thing over and over again, like. How's this looking now? Oh God. Um Is your opinion the common one in Ireland of your age group? I couldn't tell you, to be honest with you, man. Maybe, I don't know. I would say that there's like, because of the way all the pedophilia and the church here, like the church here was very violent, very like just physically violent. Like, you know, like kids used to just get hit with sticks in school and all, like just for like asking questions and stuff. Um, the Irish have been beaten down for like hundreds of years. Like the British, the Roman Church, like and because it's a small island with a small population, like relatively speaking, the fact that like there's still dudes with like my kind of bloodline and my kind of fucking mindset and all is a fucking miracle. There is lots of us though that are totally bought in, especially the older ones. But there's some people my age, and there's some people like young, you know, there's a lot of people, like if you went to college, you're probably like, your mind is like mush, you know. So I'm blessed in that sense that like, because of everything that was going on in my life, I just told everyone to go fuck themselves. Didn't go to school. Even when I went to school, I wasn't paying attention, didn't do the home, like up until third year, I wasn't a straight A student, but I was an all honor student. Everything was like an A or a B or a high C. You know, it was rare that I got a C. Everything was an A or a B for the first 3 years. And I didn't even speak the language for the first like 3 months. Like, so I was like really good at everything. And I didn't even apply myself that much, like, do you know what I mean? Like, because my parents were getting divorced at the time. So I was like I was like moving in and out of reality kind of thing. Like, I just wanted to play video games all the time, play with me Legos and stuff, hang out with friends, figure out how to get girls to like me, other than being like my best friends. Like, it's funny, I was never the gay best friend, but like I was like, the amount of times I was friend zoned, like I was a bit uglier though when I was like, I was like riddled with acne and kind of chunky when I was younger. So like I never looked at myself when I was younger. I was like I'd look at other dudes and be like, man, they're like way better looking than me. Like fuck, like very angry as well. So that probably gave off a vibe. Yeah, like I'm not a good case study to get like a broad spectrum analysis of the average of this island. Because like, don't get me wrong, there's probably a lot, like there's probably like a few thousand people like me who had the combination of like grew up middle class, but then it all went to shit. And you grew up in the 90s, so like you're big into video games and movies. Like, do you know what I mean? There's quite a lot of us, like, do you know what I mean? But like, I don't know, like I'm fairly unique. I don't mean that in like a fucking, you know, oh, I'm cool and special. Like I just am. Like I've had a weird life. Like my dad fucked me up. And my ma was like living with a pathological liar who's like lost her mind, like does a lot of weird shit to you. Like there's not a lot, like there's, and I have more evidence of that now, that is the case, and it's not just me thinking it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like anybody that I like talk to about my life is like, holy shit, like, do you know what I mean? And that's not to say that they, like, you know, other people don't have demons and problems and all. It's just like typically like 7 out of 10 times the mental and emotional turmoil that I've been through is more intense typically. So yeah, I wouldn't be a good indicator, you know what I mean? Like, because even the people I surrounded myself with, like, you know, when I started watching Owen, they were like, oh, he's crazy. Like, like even the grungy misery loves company, fuck the government, fuck school, you know, hipster, smoking weed, you know, fucking smoke weed every day, fucking like that's what like my latter half of my teenage years, all the way through most of my 20s, was like, sup nigga, like but like it was such an odd combination of like ghetto black you know, culture and comedy, but like loads of anime with that as well. But then like really, really heavy metal, you know, and like it's this weird hybrid subculture like thing, and even most of them thought I was nuts. Like only one or two of them I have left from back in the day. Like I still keep in contact with, and like when we meet up, like we have great conversations and we agree with each other on a lot of stuff, and we come from a very similar mindset because it's like a meta objective perspective of like just trying to be honest with reality and having a good like sense of humor about things. The amount of them that were like still bought in and took the ticket in many ways, like I was fairly shocked that one of them was like uh so like tough and cool and hipsterish and like street smart and all this, and like had no problem taking the jobs because he loved going to gigs. He loved going to heavy like metal concerts, not just metal concerts. Like he went to fucking I was like Denzel Curry. Oh, what was that fucker called? He had one called Ill Mind. What was that guy called? Ill Mind. Ill Mind was the fucking but like real like nigga shit, real like not like mumble rap, like good rap, good hip hop, but like grungy hip hop, a bit of Yellow Wolf, shit like that. Like he had no problem like wearing masks, putting on taking a jab. So like yeah, like I'm not your average guy here in the slightest. But I think that like ironically that's what allows me to like be able to talk to anyone. Cause like I've been around all sorts of people. I've been around all sorts of people. Religious types, bought into the propaganda types, university types, which are essentially the same fucking thing, just a different like brand or flavor of it. Like then like the metalheads, the scumbags, like country culty fuckers, and then just like the average lad from Dublin, like it's, and that's just the males, like, you know what I mean? Then you have all the fucking females, and the females are like tend to be like way more like diverse and weird and psychotic and all. Like, it's like Ireland's a mad place. There's like magic here. It's a small, like in, but it's not like dense. Like it's like some areas are fairly dense, but even the densest areas of Ireland are not very dense. You know, like you'd never see something like you'd see in England maybe, or London, or like America, or like definitely not like China or Mumbai. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like there's room here, at least for the fucking moment. Like, and it's an incredible amount of like natural diversity. Obviously, there's the whole forced diversity shit here now, but like we've been like that for a long time. Where there's like loads of different tribes, all with the different distinct accents and like ways of pronouncing words, and that applies to both the Irish language and the English language. Like there's like it's kind of the same in England, where like it's like you can go from one county to another and like not understand what somebody's saying, and they're speaking English. Like especially the Pikeys, like, you know what I mean? Like the Pikeys are renowned for that. Like, all right, hi, boss. It's like, sorry, what? Like, people used to think I was posh. I used to think I was so funny. Like, oh, you're from Lucan. You speak properly and pronounce words correctly. Like, fucking stupid. Like, oh. Yeah, broadly speaking, if you're just talking about religion, then I'd probably say it's 50-50 in general. If you're talking about people my age in their mid 30s, grew up in the 90s, living in Ireland, there's probably like 50% would fall on the agnostic side, not necessarily atheistic, because like they still believe in shit. But they'd be more like scientific minded. And then 50% would probably, like, even if they're not like religious, they would believe in God and they'd believe in Jesus and stuff like that because their parents like were or are Catholic. And then you have the Protestants are up the north. So like there's way more of us than them because they don't even have like the whole north. They literally have like, was it 2-3 counties? Is it 4? They only have like a fishing village, like in comparison. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's the top right hand corner of the island is still technically British. You know, in very like they have the British registration plates, they have the British postal service, and that's what I think is crazy. Is that there's no border. Like, there's a border on the map, but there's no physical border. There's just signs, you know. There's just you are now in Northern Ireland. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's just a road. There's no guys with guns. There's no fence. There's no nothing. Like, there is probably loads of mental shit going on in our rainforests. But like, we've forests all over the island, and I said this recently enough where I was like, the amount of wild shit probably going on in our forests is crazy. Because if you had the resources, if you have the balls, you could just come to Ireland and you could just live in the forests. like loads of us have thought about it, especially since COVID. You could just get yourself some camping gear, and if you had the know-how, you could just live in the forests, and like you wouldn't be like you would not you no matter where you went, you wouldn't be that far from like a major populace or a small town with a shop, and like the grid is like right beside you. Like, do you know what I mean? So you could just live in the forest and be totally off grid, and like, you know, have like if you've the that's what I'm saying, like if you have the know-how, it'd be very easy. Like, you know, the winters would be a bit rough if you didn't prepare and stuff like that. But other than that, it'd be fucking piss easy to do it. Like, especially if you did like stuff like Hugel culture and stuff, or like if you like really did a proper job with growing food during the growing seasons, and like you managed to get yourself like a cow or some shit. Like, you know, like you could live in a forest and no one would fucking know. The guards are all around the cities and the villages and stuff, like, you know, and like they're all preoccupied with like, you know, like the forests are like wild. They're totally wild. Like, mad shit goes on there. Like, it's a mad island, man. Like, do you know what I mean? It's a fucking crazy island. Like, for so many reasons. It's like one of the easiest places to live, but also one of the most like psychologically like fucked up places to live because of all the major paradoxes and juxtapositions. Like weed is illegal, but I can go over across the road into the shop and I can buy raw skins with roaches. And if I was in Dublin, like there'd be a shop where I could get a bong, a grinder, a pipe, but weed's illegal. But you can get it everywhere and you smell it everywhere, but it's illegal. Like, and you wouldn't even get like in a lot of trouble if like you were caught smoking a joint, like they'd be like, all right, and fuck it, like they'd like take it off you, maybe give you a slap on the wrist. If you gave them, like it'd depend on the guard that caught you, like, and it would depend on your attitude in the situation, like they'd probably just let you off, like they'd take the stuff off you and let you go, like. But then if you were known to be like involved with criminals or something like that, like they might put you in jail for a bit. Like it's weird. It's fucking weird here, like. And like not just weird in the sense of like odd, it's weird in the sense of like like old school weird, like magic. It's mental. I love it here. Like I do like I this this island is my mother in like so many ways. Like I fucking love it here. It's crazy. The only thing I don't like is actually like how kind of mild it is. I would prefer like if our summer was a bit longer, because sometimes our summer can be really short. I'd prefer if our summer was a bit longer and our winters were a little bit more intense. Other than that, this place is perfect. You know, I'd also kind of prefer it if it was a little bit wilder. Like I think it'd be like it's amazing that you could go into one of the rainforests and see like deer and shit or like whatever, but like the biggest like predator thing is like a badger. It'd be really cool if we had some like wolves and bears and snakes and shit still here and all like, um, which apparently we do in certain secluded sections because of like conservationism and stuff. Like there's these like private dudes who have like heard about one guy who was like trying to reintroduce bears into Ireland. But it's like a private sanctuary kind of vibe. And then I think there's another guy, if not the same guy, who's trying to do the same thing with wolves. Um, the whales ate all the dragons. What the fuck? The whales ate all the dragons. How did they manage that? All the dragons just got really depressed one day and went for a swim. Like, I could understand why most want nothing to do with Christianity just from the Catholic Protestant gravel. Yeah, that's mainly what it is. Yeah, that's mainly what it is. And then there was an extra kind of flavor of cruelty and perversion. Because like we come from that whole kind of like, Gallic, Celtic, pagan, like we're really violent and we fuck like rabbits. Like Irish women are typically like very attractive and like love fucking. Like, do you know what I mean? They never admit it, but like, it's like it's one of the like most foreigners love this place. Which is why it's so funny that most of the people that live here constantly bitch about the weather, even though the weather is like hilariously mild, relatively speaking to the rest of the realm. Like that's why it's such a funny place. That's why Irish people are so funny, is because of the trauma and the drastic contrast between things. It's like it's incredibly beautiful, but it can be kind of depressing and boring sometimes. It has a rich ancient history that's been completely forgotten about and perverted. Like the best fighters, the best poets, the best writers, the best scumbags, criminals, fucking like, you know what I mean? Like it's like way, whoa, way, whoa. It's like the whole island is like a pendulum. Like the whole island's like a spiritual pendulum, like. Because like in a given day, right, depending on the time of the year, on any given day, you could have like lashing rain and then beautiful sunshine, and that could be in like an hour. Like, and like especially at this time, like there's a weird pocket around January, February, where like the cold snap comes in, and it's like fucking 0 degrees Celsius. And then it'll go back up to like 9. Won't feel like it though, but like it'll look like it, and that's where you got all these like beautiful looking like mists and stuff. Where like it gets really cold, and then it rains, and then the sun comes out. So there's like just this like fog and mist everywhere and shit. Like it's crazy. It's crazy beautiful. Like it is the type of thing that like you'd expect like mythical creatures to come out of the forests and stuff, and fairies to be flying around and all, like, or trolls to just come out of a rock under a fucking big bog or something. Like it's crazy. Like, but our population is like the Irish people, not all the foreign scum that have showed up. Fucking and that's not to call all foreigners scum, but lots of the foreigners that have come here are scum because of the context in which they've come here. You know, the English know all about what I'm talking about. Fucking most of Europe knows what I'm talking about right now. Don't get me wrong, I know the Americans know what I'm talking about to a degree as well. Like, but you guys kind of like, you guys have kind of been dealing with that for a while with the whole Mexican border situation. Like, you know, when we go to America, we do lots of work, like, you know, and at least they fucking work, you know, and they're like fun, you know, mariachis and shit, like, and cerveza. But like, loads of the people that come here to commit crime, to get away with shit. Like this place is very similar to Israel in a lot of ways. There's lots of fucking like, there's lots of horrible, dirty shit going on here, like. And I know you could say that for everywhere, but I mean, like relatively speaking, considering that like it's quite peaceful here. Like, you know, when you're just walking around, like the worst thing you'd see is like a fist fight, somebody getting stabbed. Like you're not gonna see like violent pew pew crime like all the time. You're not gonna see like, you know, people stealing cars like all the time. Like it's like secluded and in small degrees and small pockets. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, and like most people are very friendly, talkative, and like welcoming to foreigners and all. Like, you know, like, and that's kind of the problem. Is like we're totally open to just being taken advantage of, and we have been like. So that like on top of all the shit that's already happened to us culturally, where like the whole British thing and then the whole Roman Catholic Church thing, now we have an influx of like all these different cultures and all these different global homo bullshit fucking systems and NGOs and all this stuff. And like it's really fucked us up. It's really fucked us up. There's loads of autistic kids here now. And like, you know, that could be a combination of like, you know, bad food, bad nutrition, like all the vaccines, you know, whatever. Like the hospitals here are brutal. Your average, like, you know, doctor here, your GP, your general practitioner, like they're fucking useless. You know, my experience with the dentists here has actually been quite good. Any of the dentists I've gone to see were like really good at their job. One of them did commit suicide, and the other one got arrested for tax evasion, though. So like, it's a fucking weird place, man. I was more asking from your experience, not what the stats are. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like, I try. Yeah, I don't know. It's like pretty much what I said. People my age is like half and half. You'll come across people who, you know, their family are like, you know, oh God and Jesus and all, and, you know, they're Catholic and whatever, like, and they go to church. And you know what's funny is it's big in the pikey community. It's big in the, you know, traveler. We call them travelers. We don't call them pikeys. We call them travelers or knackers. They're fucking really religious typically. They're big into going to church and Jesus and all, like. I always thought that was really funny. But it kind of makes sense, I suppose, because like you'd need that sense of community and stuff because they're on the fringe, like. But that's another example of like how like weird it is here. Like you quite often you still see people going around horse and carriage. Like quite often, It's not a rare thing at all. Like, you still see people going around horse and carriage, like all the cars, all the modern shit, people on iPhones, and then like, two traveller lads on a fucking horse and car. All right, bye. Like, it's fucking mad. Like, it's like 1500 and 2020 are like in the same place. Like, it's fucking weird. Like, I think victim consciousness and sacred idols is what holding back most people. Yeah, our egos make up a large portion of our personalities. Most bears have rid themselves of that. Not all. Yeah. What is that? From the kettle. Um, yeah, that's what I like so much about your average person in the bear community. But you're dead right, not all. There's plenty of very religious people in the bear community because a lot of them think they're fucking, because Owen is like pretty much a Christian. Like, do you know what I mean? They think that it's all like, and he talks about God and like it's funny, like, as I'm quite a bit more pagan than Owen would be, but like, yeah, you're right. It's like most of us have kind of shed the whole like dogma, doctrine, ego, like for the most part, to enough of a degree that you can empathize with like pretty much anyone, as long as they're willing to communicate, have a good sense of humor, and are like honest, you can like put yourself in other people's shoes. You know enough about like most things. You're not like really locked in and ignorant to like other cultures and shit. You have an interest in other cultures and stuff like. But it is funny to see how much there is still like very devout religious people in the bear community. Like, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you can have really devout religious people who are like really fucking good, solid people because their faith is so strong, because they're so devout. But you still run into the problem of like, doctrine and dogma are very dangerous. Like, doctrine and dogma are very dangerous. And it's too easy for like look what happened with our group. Look what happened with the Irish Bear group. Like, the whole fucking like, oh, the Trinity and all like, and then fucking, it was kind of mad to watch a bunch of people that I'd had a laugh with and went camping with and spoke to about like a lot of these like esoteric meta things, to just be like, I'm a Catholic, and you're just like, you're a fucking retard is what you are. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, don't insult the book and Jesus and God and the Trinity and all this. It's like, you know nothing. Shut the fuck up. The arrogance of these people, like, and they would call me arrogant, like, do you know what I mean? Like, oh, you think no, like, I admit that I don't know shit, like, do you know what I mean? It's like, it's just so stupid. It's so like it's so limiting, And like, you've seen what's happened over the years of the bear community. You have these like huge fucking gamma meltdowns of all like, oh, I can't believe you fucking like, oh, I slaughtered my sacred cow, like, oh, all this fucking shit. Like, it's like Owen says shit all the time where I'm like, oh my god, you fucking retard. Like, what the fuck? Like, but that doesn't negate the plethora of times that he's been insanely accurate, made a really good logical point or argument, had made really funny fucking jokes. His like the songs and stuff, like, and it's not just him. Like, there's loads of people in the community that are fucking hilarious and do hilarious shit. And like, just watching, it's like what a lot of people have said, that just having something on the internet, or like, it's basically the equivalent of the TV now, but having something in digital form that is for the most part good, true, beautiful. Like, people are trying to do the right thing. People are trying to be good. They have an excellent sense of humor. They're very aware of the dark forces and how bad things can get, but they have a good attitude about it. Like, you know, it's the same with Vox's community, but that's a lot more intellectual. Like, do you know what I mean? You have like Vox's community is very cerebral, which is one of the reasons I like it, because I like being around people who are like way more intelligent than me, so that I can absorb it. You know, because I don't like reading. So that when I know someone is like spitting facts, I'm like, yeah, I'm like a fucking kid looking at a candle for the first time. Like, just like, whoa, like, I fucking like the reason I love the community is for all of those reasons, and that's why I fucking detest those people who are just like, he just fucking, oh, how dare you, and all this fucking shit. It's like these people are retards. Like, it's people like that like um that like I've spoken about that before, like recently. It's like stupid fucking people are actually like some of the people that annoy, like they get to me more than like Bill Gates or Jeffrey, because typically they're actually like in my vicinity as well or whatever. But like it's their weakness and their stupidity and their lack of taking accountability and lack of a willingness to take responsibility for things that makes things harder for people like me, and that makes things easier for people like the wicked, and you know, the wicked, the false, and the ugly, you know. And I don't like to. I don't think it's strong to complain about that, but I do think that's true. I think that like the midwits, the fucking like the cattle, you know, as they would refer, like as the people they would call the goyim or whatever. I just call them fucking like stupid cunts, because that's what they are. You know, they're weak, they're stupid, they're ignorant, they're fucking like childish, which is hilarious coming from a guy like me that is like, you know, whimsical and silly and very like comfortable being like childlike. But like, isn't that what Jesus said? Is like, enter the kingdom as children and stuff like that. It's like, have fun, enjoy life, you know, like have a fucking vibrant energy about you, like, you know, like as NATO Bear would say, fucking enjoy it. Like, it's like, you're not here just to suffer. You know what I mean? Like, what would be like? There'd be no fucking point in life if you were just here and like everything was supposed to be miserable and shit, and just like it's just stupid. Like the reason why all of this crap is so tragic is because it's so obvious that this place is incredible and beautiful and mystical and all these things, like everything from a hummingbird to a scorpion to like. That's what I love. Like, just looking at the animal kingdom is one of my favorite ways to be like, look at this place. Like, you're gonna tell me that this, like, there's not an element of like supernatural design, magic, fucking like, like there's. It's fucking crazy cool. Like, you know what I mean? It's like people just suck. You know, like people, and I've been there. I used to be one of those people where I'm just gonna smoke weed and just gonna play video games, and I'm gonna blame the government and blame my parents for my life being shit. You know, because it's like you're just in it, and you there's something blocking you, usually you, from seeing the forest through the trees and all that shit. Like, and it's a weird paradox. I think that's why like you do like people like us, people like me, feel blessed when you get to this place, because you're like, you think about what your life would be like if you never changed, like if you never got out of that mindset. Like, would I be dead? You know, would I be like just this miserable cunt? Like, like, oh fuck, like it just like ugh, like that's such a displeasing, disgusting, like horrible notion for me to engage in is like, what if I never changed? Like, what if I'd have never like looked at myself and been like, okay, I get too angry. I need to like you start looking at all the parts of yourself. You're like, okay, I'm doing these things wrong, and I'm not like disciplined enough, and I'm not putting the work in, and I'm not setting boundaries with my friends, and like I'm not like acknowledging like for them a big chunk of it is like as much as people did like I was an honest guy for the most part, but I wasn't like really honest. I wasn't as honest as you should be. You should the thing that you think you shouldn't say because it might hurt somebody's feelings. Fucking say it. Like most of the time, they need to hear it, especially from people that like claim to love them. Like, you know, like, if you really love someone, you have to be willing to hurt them. It's that whole fucking caterpillar going into the cocoon, becoming the butterfly thing. If you really care about someone, you really love them, then you have to be willing to take the risk to be like, you're being a fucking retard, you're being a fucking bitch, and like, you know, this, like, you doing this is stupid, you're being pathetic, all this fuck, this, that, and the rest, like, and if they can't take that, that's their problem. And it's fucking sucks. It sucks, like, when people are like, and like, and then relationships change and all this shit. But it's like, that's what needs to be done. You can't live with yourself being like dishonest and not like actually being honest with people. And then what happens is you start to like resent yourself because you're not really being you. And then you give off that frequency and that vibe, which means that the people around you don't really know you. You know, they don't know the real you. And you don't know the real you. But part of you does. So part of you is starting to like, you're like grieving the death of the real you on a daily basis. It's fucking some like sophisticated psychological ego shit that like you should have, like, that's what being an adult really is like taking responsibility for like every fucking thing, everything, your thoughts, your actions, your emotions, what you have done, what you haven't done, what you should do, what you think you should do, why you think you should do this, like all these fucking things, like, you know, and it's like, and I think a lot of it gets offloaded onto God. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think like it's one of the reasons I hate religion so much is because it's like, instead of like believing in a higher power and trusting in a higher power, these people just go like, I read the book, I go to the church. I read the book, I go to the church, and I've been a good boy, and like, and sure, in some contexts, it's like community and like access to other people, and other people are very valuable. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like the most valuable thing you could have is someone that you could trust and stuff like that. Like, but in that framework, it's corrupted. Because that framework is controlled pretty much ubiquitously by a corrupted hierarchy. Like, you know, like if the church isn't connected in some way to the government, then the church is probably like unless it's like, and I don't even know if this is a thing, but unless it's like a private church by some dude who's just like owns it and like and preaches or some shit like that, like, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't like. It's very, very, very complicated now when it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be at all. Like, you know, the church should just be all of us sitting around a fire at the end of the fucking day talking to each other honestly. That's what your church should be. Is just everyone sitting around a fucking fire at the end of the day talking about like what's on their mind, how do they feel, what did they do today, you know, what do they want to do tomorrow, all these fucking things. Like, shouldn't be talking about like, you know, not that you shouldn't be talking about it. It shouldn't be in the framework of like, you come here, you face this way, you stand, you read, you bow, you submit. You know, like, it's just fear God. Fuck that. Why would I fear God? Like, do you know what I mean? You trust God, you have faith in God. You don't even know what fucking God is. Everyone's got a different version of God. It's so fucking stupid. Like, and it's like, it's such a powerful weapon. You know, it's very prevalent here. There's loads of people here that are just like, you know, oh Jesus, oh God, Jesus, like, you know, Jesus save us, save yourself, you fuckhead. Like, it's so like, it's pathetic. It's fucking pathetic. Like, we're supposed to be the fighting Irish. We're supposed to be like, you know, amazing writers and poets and fighters and adventurers and stuff. We're supposed to leave the island and go like do stuff and come back and be like, lads, you never guess where I've been. I went to this place and they do shit like this and like look at this and all and blah blah, like, and then we bring back foreigners with us and be like, look how green the place is. This is great. It's very green. It's very wet. You know, like it's all fucked now, like, you know, and it's tragic. It's fucking tragic, man. Like. But it doesn't have to be like that, you know? You can fucking like turn it all around and you can turn it around really quickly. But they have to want it. You can't make anybody do anything, like. Believe me, I fucking experienced that shit, like, you know, an extremely personal level. It's like, you can like beat your head against the fucking like glass of just like shouting at someone like, do this will work. I have been where you have been. Do this. You need to do this. Work out, learn how to discipline yourself, look at your shadow, investigate yourself on it, like meditate, do some shit, like, do you know what I mean? Like, no. Like, fine, stay in the pit. And then you walk, you're like, all right, fine, stay in the pit. And they're like, ah, you hate me. Ah. Like, oh, I could, like, you know, fucking. It's the infantilized mind. If I was to try and summarize it, it's the arrested development infantilized mind. And I know it very well because I suffered from it. I still a bit suffer from it, like, you know. Where it's like it's this desperate like clinging to that victim consciousness bullshit of like, this was done to me and like all this fucking shit. It's it makes me sick. Probably because it just reminds me of like what I used to be like. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, ugh, it's repulsive, like. And it doesn't matter how you articulate it. It doesn't matter how well you know how it works. Like, you know, it doesn't matter how much you want to help. It doesn't matter how much you love these people. How much, like, you know, like, again, Jesus, like, do you know what I mean? Brothers, sisters, it doesn't have to be this way. Flip the tables, do all this shit. Isn't this great? Yay! And lots of people were like, yeah, Jesus is awesome. And then a lot of other people were like, nail that prick to a cross and call it a day. Like, fuck. And like, I know lots of people can argue. It's like, yeah, but look what he did and how he did it and all. And lots of people remember him as like this great guy and all. It's like, yeah, well, lots of people remember him as a martyr and use it to further their victim consciousness. Like, you know what I mean? So that's like, and don't get me wrong, I don't think you could like, I don't think there's like a perfect way. I don't think there is like the way. There's many ways, you know. But they all ways lead to the same destination. We all die. Like, whether you're good or you're bad or you're stupid or you're intelligent, like we're all gonna die. Like, and I think that's that's probably what it is. It's like, you know, fear of death, fear of the unknown. It's all this primal shit, and I find it so pathetic. Where it's like, again, it's like one of the things that I've wanted to do more than anything is like have the money to like go to all these countries and like actually see a fucking Siberian tiger, actually see a great white shark, and actually like hold a reticulated python and feel its power and like see an anaconda and like all these fucking things instead of just on a screen, like, you know, whereas most people are like afraid to say nigger. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, I don't want people to think I'm racist. Like, it's so pathetic. Like, it's so like, people called me mad, like, like it's fucking like, oh god, man, it's so frustrating. Like, it really is. Like, it's so fucking frustrating to be a part of a culture and live in a place that like everyone's like, oh, I love the Irish. The Irish are great. Like, the Irish did this, and Rome didn't conquer Ireland. And like, we conquered ourselves. There's 6 pubs in this town and 4 bookies. Like, we conquered ourselves. Like, fuck Rome. Fuck the church. Fuck the Brits. You know, like, blame the famine for the fucking 100th year in a row. All you fucking want. Like, it's us. You know, like, we're the fucking problem. What kind of fucking people bitch about mild weather? Like, oh, it's raining again. It always fucking rains! Like, it rains all the fucking time. It rains in winter. It rains in summer. It rains in the in-between months. That's why it's so beautiful. It always rains here. That's why the dirt is so black. That's why the grass is so green. Like water is life. Like, what the fuck? Oh, it's raining. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, it's so frustrating. My own people drive me nuts. Like, it's mad. Like, oh shit. I went way too far. I love Ayr. I have to get back over and visit again. Yeah, man. I want to go over and visit you and fucking Stunt, man. I want to go over and have a few pints. Go out in the lash. Google says there's 5 acres of land for every Irish person. Yeah, like that's why I think it's like most people are like, oh, Ireland's small and all that. Man, like, come here and go for a walk. This place is huge. It's a big island. It's an island, but it's fucking big island. Like, I know you can drive up and down it in like 8 hours or whatever. Like, do you know what I mean? Depending on what roads you take and how fast you drive or whatever. Like, I know it's not as big as other places, but like, it's you don't need a lot of space as a human being. Like, do you know what I mean? This place is fucking massive. Like, and the fact that it's covered in like I think Ireland is the center of the realm. Like, as far as land goes, I think Ireland is the center of the realm. I think it's home, like, you know, spiritual home or something. Like, it's weird. There's something here. It's too fucking perfect. Like, and maybe that's why there's this like psychological break in people or something where it's like, when you don't have anything really to complain about, you start inventing all this shit to complain about. Like, you know, it's like best food, best women, best men. But like, you know, and I don't care what anyone says. Like, if you talk about like, oh, but it's not the tallest or the shortest, it's fucking like, when you look at the whole spectrum of humanity, the Irish are like right in the middle. You know, they're big, they're small, they're smart, they're stupid, they're funny, they're retarded, we're great writers, we're great fighters, we're great adventurers, we're great builders, we're great at fucking everything. But we suck at like, currently we suck at life. Like, currently we suck at everything. Throughout the ages, we're like amazing at everything, and now we're shit at everything. It's so tragic. My dad was born in Dublin, came to Liverpool with his mum and dad when he was around 7. Yeah, you can tell you have Hobbit blood in you, you tiny fuck. And the curly hair as well. Um, that deal they made with India is going to flood you guys. Hope that reverses somehow for all your sakes. Yeah, I don't know. Like, don't get me wrong though. Out of all the people that could flood this place, Indians, I'm all right. Like, I, out of all the different ethnicities that could flood this island, I think it's the perfect one because I think a lot of ancient Irish culture actually comes from that side of the realm anyway. Like I think it actually work out for the best. I know everything does in the end, like, do you know what I mean? But like Irish are kind of like the Borg in a sense, where like every culture that has come here, like no matter who they are, they end up assimilating. Even the Africans, even the Unga Bunga Africans, not like the really smart, like cultured Africans, because there is those like like there's African people who are incredibly intelligent, come from very rich families, and like all this stuff, and then you have the Unga Bunga, fucking chimp out motherfuckers, like, um, but everyone comes here and assimilates because we're so fucking cool, like, like everyone comes here and likes learning Irish. Everyone comes here and like has a Guinness. Everyone comes here and loves the food. Everyone comes here and like learns, like looks at our ancient relics and our history and shit and all like that. And a lot of people who have come here have, don't get me wrong, there's like both are true, but like a lot of people who have come here get it, you know? Like they realize, like it becomes very apparent very quickly that there's a huge disconnect. I've heard Italy is the same, where there's a huge disconnect between the government and the people. Like it couldn't be, like it's crazy. Like most people, even though there's still a lot of people who watch the propaganda, watch like RTE or whatever, and listen to the fucking radio and like read the newspaper and believe all the fucking bullshit, and they still vote and all that crap. Like, um, even those people have like an inherent distrust, which is one of the things that I think is fucking hilarious. Is like even those people have an inherent distrust of the system, and it's kind of like an offshoot of the church as well, because even the people that are still religious, they know that loads of the priests were pedophiles. They know that loads of the fucking churches were doing dodgy shit. It was fucking baby farms here, like probably still is, like there's wild stuff going on. There's so much child abuse here, so much mad shit, like horrible, dirty cunt bastard stuff. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, um, but you know how it is. It's like, it either makes you or breaks you. So like a lot of Irish people are like hard as fuck, and like mad, like I wouldn't describe myself as like hard as fuck, but I'm incredibly resilient, and I'm wild, like, do you know what I mean? Like I'm not like you can't buy me, you can't tell me what to do, like, do you know what I mean? Like you have to earn my trust, and like like I've learned how to be like uh a real human being, like because other human beings like fucked me up, um and I let them fuck me up and all, like, so. And a lot of people here are like that. A lot of people here. There's like so much abuse and so much like trauma and so much fucking, and like uh modern and recent and ancient and ancestral. Like both wild shit, like wild fucking shit. So there's loads of people here who are like salt of the earth, really fucking cool people who fucking do anything for you and like bring you into their home and like treat you like family, you know, and care about you. love you, like. But there is also like absolute demons here. It's basically heaven. Like you can metaphor it as like you could figuratively speaking, Ireland is Eden. There are absolutely angelic people here, and then there's absolute fucking demons. It's crazy, and because of the way the island is, you know, in a sense of like the topography, where it's situated, because it's an island, because it's not too big and not too small, and there's like 6 million people here or whatever. Like, it's a really really unique setup. It's a really unique setup, like, because like you'd think that like I said, it's very similar to Israel. I don't know how many people are in Israel, like how many millions of people are in Israel, but like think about it. It's an island with only 5-6 million people on it, but we get spoken about all the time, and like we have a presence on the international like scale and stuff. Like people talk about Ireland all the time. Ireland is like spoken about on the regular, and we're like a little island beside England. It's like when you think about it that way, it's weird. Like we have a say in things, in a sense. Do you know what I mean? Like people are always talking about, like, not always, but people, especially the last 10 to 15 years, have been like, oh, like, don't fuck with the Irish, like, you know, fucking, it's only a matter of time before the Irish just like stop being hospitable and like just snap and shit. Like, and Connor mentioned that when he was going for the presidency, like, you know, we're peaceful, we're not harmless. Like, we've never made an empire. We've gone everywhere, you know. We've gone everywhere. There's the Irish diaspora, I think, is like 60 million. You know, there's Irish people all over the place. There's Irish people who have bred with like different cultures all over the place. And I wouldn't be surprised if there was like a light the fire situation, like light the beacons of Gondor situation, where like if Ireland gets really, really, really bad, there'd probably be a lot of people who'd be like, right, it's time to go home, you know. And there'd be a lot of people here that's like, right, I'm not fucking around anymore. Like, you get a whole IRA situation again, like. And I could feel it coming. It's like the quickening is definitely happening in that sense, where like there's a lot of people here who are already doing like stuff, you know. You just won't hear about it. Like, because that's how we work, like, do you know what I mean? It's we've had to work like that, like we were outnumbered and outgunned in like lots of our major interactions with other cultures and stuff like that. So like we would have to like a lot of the like, and in the ancient things and all, like you'd hear about that a lot, where like I don't know the stories very like well, but like I've heard a lot of that where like we'd retreat to the hills, we'd retreat to the forests, and then like slowly, you know, just like the whole thing of like wait until your enemy going to sleep and then just go in and kill them all kind of thing. Like, do you know what I mean? That's how you get a kind of people that would just make a bomb and put it under your car. Like, you know, we don't need to fight you in the field somewhere, especially when we know that you're not going to fight fairly, like, you know. So it's one of those things, like, we did it first, ye be warned, like Pirates of the Caribbean, and there be Jeets here. That's hilarious. The fact Éire has an actual identity and nation is frowned upon by the establishment. Boss people here, yeah, they hate us. Our establishment hate us. They fucking hate us. Like they like even our fucking Micheál Martin or whatever, our Taoiseach, he got like fucking eaten alive on social media. Like, do you know what I mean? For the, like he said, so what was he said? He said, we want nothing to do with a backward idea of sovereignty and all this fucking shit. Like the Irish, they know, they hate us, and they know that we want them all dead. Like most of us want them all dead. Like, do you know what I mean? But there's something like we're such a demoralized, like lazy fucking group of fuckheads now. Like, most people are just like, oh, I have bills to pay and I have a job and like, no. It's just excuses, like, do you know what I mean? The reality is that we could pull an Africa type situation where if enough of us just showed up outside a government building and threatened to pull them out and beat the living shit out of a lot of them, like, and yeah, don't get me wrong, a few people probably would get shot, you know? But it's like, do you actually want, like, do you want some drastic change now or do you want gradual change over the course of the next like 50 years? And that's the risk that you run is like, yeah, sure, you can grow your own food, you can do this, you can do that, you can set up communities and all. But the whole time you're doing that, um, they have way more manpower, way more manufacturing capability. They don't give a flying fuck about anything. They have no honor, no humanity, none of it. Like, so like that's I've said this before. That's the one thing that I really disagree with Owen. But like, I I'll definitely admit that he seems more intelligent than me in ways. In other ways, he seems totally fucking retarded and ignorant because he's the kind of life he's had. Um, but there always comes a point where we have to throw down. And I'm not talking French Revolution kind of thing where it's like kill all the elites. It's like there comes a point where there's a major clash and then a fallout. And like that generally dictates like, if there if there was like an uprising or something, like it's literally called the 1916 rising, like, do you know what I mean? And like it's stuff like that. That's why we're a very demoralized culture, is because like we've all kind of got this inherent memory of like, well, we tried to be independent and we tried to fight the powers that be, and loads of us fucking died and we lost, which isn't necessarily true. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, our own kin betrayed us and sold us down the fucking Swanee. But like, to me, that just like the reason evil, wicked forces would put so much effort repeatedly into taking this place from the natives and making the natives think that like, they can't do anything about it and stuff like that is because they know what'll happen if we're in charge. If we're in charge, everything will be fucking class. And by we, I mean like the actual Irish people, the type of people that like, get taken advantage of in the set that, give you the shirt off their back, fucking feed you, clothe you, fucking send you on your way. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, doesn't matter who you are, where you come from. Like, how long you been on the road? Do you want a cup of tea? Like, fucking, sure, we've a spare bed. You can spend the night and then make your way in the morning. Like we're incredibly hospitable. It's like, again, like Connor said, it's like we're peaceful. We're not harmless. Like, we have a fucking animalistic, murderous side to us. And all I hope is that when it does finally boil over, that we're not stupid about it. Because I think we've been stupid about it in the past, and that's why we're here. Is like we have a tendency to be like too trusting and too willing to like make deals and stuff and all. Like, and maybe it's because part of us at our core doesn't really want to be independent or something. Maybe we like foreigners too much or something. I don't fucking know. Like, all I know is like if I was in charge, this place would be very fucking Irish. There'd be very few foreigners here, and there'd be fucking like anti-naval and anti-aircraft cannons all over the perimeter of the fucking island. I'd turn the whole fucking island into a fucking like. You wouldn't be able to fly or boat within miles of this place without being like, who are you? What's going on? You're in our waters. Announce yourself. Like, do you know what I mean? It'd be like walking onto somebody's land. You'd be walking into our waters. Just massive coastal guns. Hundreds of them. Thousands of them. All over the island. The whole, just like surrounded. And I'd make them beautiful looking. I'd make them like absolutely incredible looking. Like make them a tourist attraction. Come check out our guns. Like it'd be brilliant. Like, do you know what I mean? Have you seen the Irish guns? That's what people would call them, the Irish guns. The whole fucking island is just like just surrounded with fucking massive coastal cannons. You wouldn't be able to fly or boat within miles of the place without getting shot out of the sky or shot out of the water if we didn't know who you were and why you were coming here. Like, oh, but they nuke you. Shut up, retard. Like, shut the fuck up. Owen is my favorite self-admitted retard. I thought I was your favorite self-admitted retard. I ain't getting my cosmology from him, but I love how he transmutes all these topics and stressors into humor and laughter. Yeah, that's like that's the main reason I stuck around. Wasn't the gravy in the comedy, you know? It's the gravy in the comedy. Like that's when I was watching him for a while, and then I started getting the feel for the people in the community. I was like, no, yeah, I like this place. Mainly the comedy. Like I love esoteric stuff and all, like, but it's mainly the comedy. From a very young age, I really liked stand-up comedy. I really liked the ability to make a joke and make a lot of people laugh, or be like Ace Ventura, and be silly and make people laugh. I know he kind of makes jokes too, but it's more like the behavior and the look, you know. That's why I've said it's like I'm not really a comedian. Do you know what I mean? But I suppose in a sense, like I'm more of a jester. Do you know what I mean? I'm a fool. I'm not like wear a suit, have a microphone, stand up on stage, and do really like highly intelligent, very sophisticated, like, you know, written out, planned, you know, I'm going to say this and it's going to make people laugh. That's like an alchemical. That's like there's an engineering, scientific quality to that. That quite frankly, I'm just too lazy to engage in. I love just like doing shit in the moment. Like I love just being like, I feel way more alive when I'm just like moving, when I'm doing, you know, fucking fighting, drinking, like like. Forest through the trees. I've seen that view from your mountaintops. What forest? But you can't. I don't fucking. I don't think we have any mountains here. That's my personal opinion. Like I've said this before, is like I like. If you can walk up it, it's not a fucking mountain. in my opinion, like, you know, like. A mountain to me is something you actually need to climb, you know, with like picks and stuff and ropes and shit. Like, but if you can just stroll up it and you'd be a bit tired by the time you got to the top, like there's what's the biggest one here? I can't remember. I think it begins with K or something like, or I'm not sure. There's like. There's mountains here in quotes, and I think our biggest one is like, but I'm telling you, like they're all just like graduals. Like it's not like a fucking mountain. Like, do you know what I mean? Like where if you're at the base of it and you look up, you're like, oh my fucking god! Like it's gonna take us days and, you know, and an arduous journey, a test of our, like, you know, metal to like reach the top of this thing. Like the biggest one in Ireland, you'd be like, we'll be there in a while. You know, it's like don't get me wrong, it'd take you a few hours, but you could literally just like backpack, stick, bit of stew and some fucking tea in the fucking backpack, like, and a sleeping bag or something, like, and something to start a fire with, and you could just go for a stroll, hike up the fucking thing, look at the view and be like, Jesus, isn't this beautiful? And then walk back down. Like, might be a little precarious, like, you know, there's like fucking sections of it that like you need to be a bit careful on, like, but there's not like climbing a mountain, like, do you know what I mean? I'm honestly ignorant of it if Ireland has trees. Yeah, there's tons of forests here. Um, Big fucking trees too. Like the hills beside me, the Galties. There's like tree lines and like woodlands at the base of it. Um, there's a forest. There's a small forest around the corner called Banshee. Beautiful. But there's large sections of the island. Like there's huge sections of the island that are just boglands, and then there's huge sections of the island that are like straight up just forests, dense forests. You know, like you walk in a bit and the sun leaves. Like, do you know what I mean? Like they're class. Like the whole island's green. The whole fucking island is green. You know, the whole island is a giant garden, which is why I don't understand why we fucking import food. Like it disgusts me to like a really frustrating degree that we import any food at all. We can grow whatever the fuck we want here. We have everything we need here. Fuel sources, food sources, fucking everything. Like we don't need anyone else. We don't like. It's fucking stupid. It's like all of it is just these corporate money worshipping, greedy, lying cunts who take advantage of how beautiful this island is and how honorable and like fucking friendly its population is. Like it's disgusting. It's fucking disgusting. Like these people are monsters, and they should hang. They like all of them should hang. Like they're criminals. You know, like I'm not talking about a French Revolution where you just start pulling elites in quotes out of their houses and slapping them in a guillotine. No, like do them all for the crimes they've committed. They're all traitors. They're all like to a man, like every single fucking one of them. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, and that's what like if you're in politics now, if you're in the guards now, like you're a fucking gobshite. Like, because how would they have any power if everybody just left? Like, you know, like the only people in those areas are fucking power hungry, corrupt wankers. It's disgusting. The fact that anybody can put a Garda uniform on and enforce the fucking laws that we have here. We don't even have any rights. We don't have a Bill of Rights. Like, we don't have a proper, like, you know, you have a right to this, you have a right to this, you have a right to that. This is, it's all decided by the Supreme Court. Like, it's fucking wild. Like, it's such a mess. It's such a fucking mess. Like, we're basically still just a plantation. We're basically still just like a what would you call it? Like a vassal state. From what I've heard, that's what happened. Is they had a constitution written up. They had the Republic of Ireland and the constitution. The lads had it written up, and then they put them all in jail. They fucking killed them all or kept them in jail, and then they wrote up a new one, and the traitors fucking sold us back to the English. It was just a new deal. It was like, look, let the population think they're independent Ireland now, but they're not really. And like the city of London still basically runs the place. Like, you know, it's like, it's disgusting. It's fucking disgusting what happened. Like the past, like, what is it, 80 years now or something? Past 80 years or some shit. Like, it's tragic. It's tragic what happened here. And you can feel it. You can fucking feel it. Like, you don't even need, like, I don't know the history that well. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't know if you can tell, but like, I don't know the history that well at all. And one of the reasons why I don't want to look into it is because it just fucking disgusts me. Like, because I don't need to know I know they said the devil's in the details, but like, I don't even need to know the fucking details. You can just see it and feel it. They're fucking scum. Like our political elite are like you take one look not even political elite, like our politicians, you take one look at them, they're all ugly fucking cunts. They're all just like they're obese or they're gay or they're gremlins or they're fucking like Micheál Martin is a fucking goblin. He's a fucking goblin, like. And then that other prick, what's his name? Simon Harris or some shit, like I think his name is. He got caught cheating on his missus during COVID. And he sounds like this. Well, I think the Irish people like they sound like they sound like little fucking gremlins, like. Everyone fucking hates them, and the people who don't hate them are like retarded. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, they're not like aware good people. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, if they're like, oh, I think Micheál Martin's a good Taoiseach, and all, you're fucking like you're broken. You're just broken mentally. Like, you're fucking retarded. Like, I always thought they had no trees, just moss and peat bogs. No, we've ancient trees here. How old is the oldest tree here? There's a yew tree here that one of the lads showed me there a few years ago. I think it could, like, I don't know if that's the oldest tree in Ireland. It's probably the officially the oldest tree in Ireland. I know it probably isn't though. I wouldn't be surprised if it isn't. But no, we've got beautiful forests here, and we have stuff that we have like big, really big hills that people refer to as mountains, but I wouldn't call it a mountain. Um, like I said, if you can walk up it, it's not a fucking mountain. Ace Ventura. I have exorcised the demons. Like, yeah, well, this. It'd be nice. It'd be nice if somebody exorcised all the fucking demons from here. I know you can't kill evil, but like, it'd be nice if somebody exorcised the demons from Ireland, like, because it's such a beautiful place and the people are so fucking epic, like, and there's such a rich ancient culture. Like, we have one of the oldest cultures going. Like comparable to the Hindu culture that like allegedly goes back like 400,000 years, and there's like fucking carvings of spaceships and all this fucking shit. Like, we have the same stuff. There's a reason why like that's what I was saying, like the Dine, the Dini, like the fucking like our language is fucking old, um like like the new world, like with the whole like fucking, I don't know, like I'd say our culture is probably like, if not tens of thousands years old, it's like couple of 100,000 years old or something, like that. Like all the Ogham stones and the old like they destroyed a lot of it. They destroyed a lot of it and ripped it up. We have these things called dolmens, where they were just like huge like stone tombs that, like, it's the same with like Egypt and shit. Like archaeologists like look at the stones and they're like, how the fuck did they move that thing? Like, and they destroyed a lot of them. They built like Roman Catholic churches on top of them and shit. Like all the places of power all over the island, all the ley lines, all the fucking. You have meridian lines on your body that are like, energetic channels and stuff like that. Like it's the same. It's the same with the land. Chris Gardner talks about it. Like, um, there's loads of them all over Ireland. There's loads of esoteric shit, loads of ancient shit here. Like, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's one of the reasons why they have such a firm grip on this place right now. Is because like there's loads of people here like me, in the sense of like gifted a gab, you know, fiery, like, personality and speech patterns and stuff, are like, I can like hold a room, like, do you know what I mean? I can get loud and people like will like, yeah, he's right, like, and they hate that. No more heroes, no more kings, no more heroes. That's the whole thing, like. And I'm not saying I'm a king or a hero, but like I don't want to be, like, do you know what I mean? I don't fucking want that responsibility. Like, I have enough shit in my life, like, but it's like I can't do that. I have the balls for it. Like, I have the balls to stand up and go, "You people are scum," and then I look around and everyone's like, I'm not with him. Like, and that's what fucks me up. Like, I've come across a few people that like uh tell me that I should keep my mouth shut, and I honestly I think these people are cowards. You know. Oh, you don't know what'll happen if you like. What if I say shit? Like, it's like fucking stupid, man. Like, this fucking like it's just it's a fucking like training a dog. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, oh, don't bite the hand that feeds you. And fucking like all this fucking shit. Like, it's pathetic. It's cowardice. If you can't just stand up and be like, you people are all liars and hypocrites and scum, you should all fucking hang. You're all fucking traitors. Like, and you'll look around it even if you have people going like, yeah, nothing fucking happens. Nothing gets done. Nobody actually does anything. Like, it's like, there's no point to it. Like, it's just sad. In Vermont and New Hampshire, we have mountains of varying degrees of difficulty in ascending. Yeah, like America has like actual mountains. America has mountains that like you'll be at the base of it and look up and be like, holy fuck. Like, you know, China, Russia. You know, fucking so there's big ones in like Central Europe, isn't there? Like the Netherlands and stuff like not like, you know, proper fucking mountains. Ye all know nothing of mountains. Past the ice wall, and ye shall see mountains. Canadia's a shithole, and you're all gay. Just accept it. Move. The only good thing to come out of Canada is the syrup, and it's not even that nice. Mountains of maple sodomy, perhaps. Mihal Martin, yeah, that's what everybody calls him. I speaking about you after your heated rant. to who? The sodomy is relegated to 0.01% of land mass. You will be fine as long as you stay off Davie Street in Vancouver. It's like it's just this one street in Canada that's lame and gay. I hope so. I saw this brilliant clip of two Canadians. I saw this brilliant clip of two Canadians on YouTube. I think was it earlier on today when I was having breakfast or something? And it's like fucking blizzard. Like you can barely see anything. It's just white snow, blizzard. And he's on ice that's covered in snow. And he's on a scrambler. He's on one of them dirt bike things. Like I don't know if it was a two-wheeler. It might have been one of them like, you know, half-track fucking things with like treads and a wheel up front or something. But he's on like a snowcat style thing, like, right? And he's blowing around like, he's blowing around on the thing and all, like, and you just see this like figure in the snow, like walk out and like wave him down. And your man pulls up, and the guy that waved him down is like, "Hey, you think that makes the fish come?" He's like, "Oh, you're fishing? Oh, do you want me to fuck off?" And he's like, "Would you?" Like, I'll drop the link to it in the Telegram because it's legit. Like, it'll make you love Canadians because they're like really polite but like aggressive, like as well. Like they're like cursing at each other and like, you know, it's very obvious that it's like, dude, get the fuck off the ice on your fucking loud bike. I'm trying to fish. But at the same time, you're the other guy was like, "Oh, do you want me to fuck off? Yeah, I'll fuck off. Yeah, no, sorry, I didn't know you were fishing." Like, it's like, it was like so civilized, but not. at the same time. It was brilliant. Like, yeah, you saw it. It's hilarious. Yeah, it's fucking brilliant. Like, it's so funny. Do you think that brings the fish around? Oh, like, you fishing? Do you want me to fuck off? Would you? And your man starts like asking him about the bike after being like, yeah, like fuck off. Like, oh, it's a nice bike. Like, so funny, so fucking funny. It's like I see clips like that, and it makes me want to visit Canada and like just hang out with Canadians. Like, to me, they're like cold Australians. They have a similar vibe to Australians, from what I can tell. Anyway, they're like cold Australians. Australia's like, like it's like fucking insanely hot like all the fucking time, and everything in the fucking place can kill you. And then Canada is like just cold and desolate and like really open, but the people are like awesome, but also like, ruled by the like, because you guys are a fucking you guys are a Commonwealth country, aren't you? You're like ruled by the Brits and stuff. Like, it's mad. Like, it's mad how all the white countries are how they're all ruled now and stuff. No, like, at least it's not China though. China's crazy. Or any built-up location in QC. Have you been to all 6 states of New England? Yeah, I've been to them all. Maine is gorgeous, but New Hampshire is my favorite. Being born in Massachusetts, I know how much that place sucks. Holland has no mountains; it's flat as a witch's tail. Is it? Is it the Netherlands I'm thinking of, or something, or Switzerland? One of the northern Irish European countries is very mountainous. It's probably Switzerland. Bullrush said New Hamp is cool. Holland is just swamp Germany. Holland is just swamp Germany. Aussies invade our mountain towns and take all the ski bum jobs. No way, do they? That's hilarious. I wouldn't think a lot of Australians would want to switch from a place that's that hot to a place that's that cold. Is Canada always cold, or do you guys have like a nice summer? Like, especially where you're at, like, is Canada cold for like 6 months of the year, and then like warm for like 2 or 3, and then like, or like a month or something? Like, Ireland is like our summers usually last 2 months, and then that's it. Nah, we have nice seasons. Yeah, your winters look awesome though. Canadian winters look like proper winters, like distinct seasons. Well, I suppose, yeah, the whole maple leaf thing is very like autumn-ish. Beautiful. I'd love to visit like Ollie's. I'd love to go over to England and see Scouts. I'd love to go over to America and see Demon Hunter, go over to Canada and see Stabaroo. While I'm over. Where are you, Printer? Is Printer not in the chat anymore? I don't know where Printer is. Is it California or something? Seeing one of the faggy places. He's very hipster looking, so like he looks like he's in like San Francisco or California, or he had a lot of snow. So he's not in one of the desert regions. I thought he had a lot of snow. Connecticut. It's a very faggy place. Yeah, like obviously he doesn't give off gay energy, but he's like thin and like he gives up he looks hipsterish. Plays guitar, smokes a lot of weed, loves coffee, fucking like I like Printer. Printer seems cool as fuck. We haven't like spoken a lot, but like the fact that he's like made my t-shirts for a while now and all, like it's gas. Like he's a funny fucker. Like he's got wild eyes when he looks at the camera, and like some of the expressions on his face and all, like he's very like Printer Bear is like alive. Like you can tell when you look at him, like Anyway, it's fucking. I've been here for ages. It's fucking half eight. I need to get some food and shit and maybe a bit more coffee. And my arse is dead. Um, but yeah, the hive is looking good. The hive is looking good. I'm gonna darken up the sections, like I said, now. Like, but I'm getting some really nice. I'm getting some really nice textures in here. Some fleshy stuff. Um, that state is next door to Massachusetts. You get from North New Hampshire to Connecticut on the same interstate. That like your interstate roads and all, like the fact that Owen can just drive for like 24 hours or something, like, and just like go across the fucking continent and shit, like it's really cool. That's another thing I've always wanted to do in at one point in my life is like go over to America and rent like a fucking like old school big American muscle car with like a fucking, V8 engine. You know, the ones that come out with a bonnet. Fucking like one of those fucking things, like, and just cruise. Just cruise and cruise and cruise and like hit up all the states, hang around for a few days, go see some touristy spots, go to as many like shooting ranges and fucking shit as possible and like festivals and stuff, and like I'd love to go to the bayou. I would love to go like with one of them like what do you guys call them? The fucking what's the colloquial term for like those American fuckers that are in the like swamp Americans? What's the colloquial? Isn't there a name like not hill? Is it hillbilly? No, because it's not the hills. That's more like Appalachian. Swamp people, Cajuns. That's that. Thank you, Cajun people. Yeah, that's the one. I've always wanted to go hang out on like one of them fucking them propeller boats, the hover boat things, and just go out with like a Cajun lad. He's like no, 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 and like shooting alligators and shit, like, and that's just that kind of vibe. I love that kind of vibe. Cause like it's extremely dangerous, but they're so calm. like they're so calm. like out in the bayou, like at any given moment, like a croc or an alligator could just like flip the boat and like you fucking can't see anything in the water. Like it's such a like my nervous system, like I'd be like fucking like like constantly like the bugs, the snakes, the snapping turtles, fucking like such a fucking dangerous location, like, but they're like so chill. They just always have a shotgun and a pistol as a backup, and they're just sitting there in their boat in a wife beater, just saying, like fishing and shit. Like, I love that shit. Um, the remnant of the French leftovers. Yeah, that's true, isn't it? Yeah, it's like the French colonies. Yeah, like the fucking they speak Creole there, don't they? A lot of them would speak Creole, especially the black ones. French Creole. They were explains why I like eating frogs. They were going back, and the Cajuns were like, "Nah, we like hunting gators and." That's hilarious. I like that's one of them really distinct culture vibe things that I'd love to experience firsthand. Is going out on a fucking going out on on one of them propeller boats in a swamp with one of those guys, and like for a few days in a row or something, like, going down all the little like streams and rivers and stuff, and seeing all the fucking what are they called? Oh, blanking now. what's the mangroves, all those trees with the roots coming out of the water and all, and then like you have this canopy and shit. Like it's really cool, really fucking cool. Right, I'm going. What's going on here? Tis Saturday. Well, that's what the Telegram chat is for, Emmanuel. There's a reason why you and Margie were invited to the Telegram chat, is so that you know when shit like this happens. Yeah, Emmanuel, right on time. I'm leaving. I've been here for 3 hours. I'm fucking leaving now. I hope you're well, Emmanuel. Goodbye.